We're
Except
live.
one is clearly better than the... Oh. What's up, everybody? And welcome back to the BallGame podcast. I am the innocent bystander, Matt Sullivan.
I'm Tom.
I'm Chris.
I always forget that intro clip's a thing. So then I just start to talk, and then I'm like, well, never mind.
Yeah.
They can't hear me. But yeah, all right. So today we're going to be overreacting to every NBA team's start to the season. Of course, for most of these teams, it's been 2 games, and for some of them, it's only been 1. By the way, just throwing it out there, we have not had the chance to watch the most NBA basketball in the world. We've been very busy with our lives. Unfortunately, I wish I could just sit in front of the TV all day and watch NBA basketball, but that has not been the case. School and work have a big say in my life at the current moment.
No, I remember last year when the season started, I was sitting with fucking 3 TVs every fucking
Every
night,
day.
watching every game.
Every day.
Just can't do
Every
it
day.
no
And
more.
now I don't have the chance to do that shit anymore.
I could barely watch the games that are on TV.
I can't.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could barely
Exactly.
watch like the nationally televised game or the
Bro,
primetime games.
Bro, these people, they got to keep helping us, bro. Get us big so we can make a lot of money off this shit,
Yeah.
so we can give you the best possible
Exactly.
NBA analysis and
Sign up
NFL
for Thrive
analysis
Fantasy.
possible. Yeah, facts.
Start
facts.
there.
Start there. Subscribe.
Like, ring that bell. Come
yeah,
on.
hit that like button. Subscribe. Hit that notification bell. All that stuff. Follow us on all of our socials. Anything that is going to potentially get us to grow, help us out, please.
Take me away from all this.
Please. I don't want to have to work. I don't want to have to. Wow, that's crazy. Product placement.
Fuck. No free promo.
No, not at all. But yeah, help us out. Make sure that we don't have to work or and stuff. Like, make sure that we don't have to do an actual job, please. I'm still gonna finish my degree, but like outside of that, I don't want to have to work every day. Anyways, yeah, we'll do our best. We will help you guys out as much as possible. If you haven't watched so much of the NBA, we'll do our best to fill you in on whatever we can fill you in on. So, without further ado, why not just hop into it? And we'll hop in with the first team, and we're gonna go in standings order. And we'll start
Going
off.
first to last.
We'll go. You want to go last to first? We go last to
yeah.
first. Yeah, we'll go last to first. All right, we'll start off in the Eastern Conference. In last place, currently sitting at 0-2. Definitely not a team I thought would be 0-2. And that is the Atlanta Hawks.
Oh, it's getting spicy off rip, huh?
That is the Atlanta Hawks. We start off spicy. Today. So, there you
Chris
go.
can't take it.
Chris.
Can't take the Atlanta Hawks
It's
slander
too
that's
spicy
coming.
for Chris. Down we go. All right. My biggest overreaction to the Atlanta Hawks is just it ain't gonna work, and it'll never work. It's just not meant to be. DeJounte and Trey are just not going to work out. Trey has had a really bad start to the season so far. Like, incredibly inefficient. DeJounte was really bad in game 1, and then game 2 he played a lot better. I caught like a solid 3 minutes of the fourth quarter of this game. Me and Chris were watching it at the exact same time at work yesterday.
Well, anyone who watched the game was probably watching it at the exact same time.
Well, okay. Yeah. Well, I'm just saying
Tuned
we
in
could
at
have
the
caught
exact same
different
time,
parts
I
of
guess,
the
is what
we
he
could have
meant,
caught
is what he
different
should have
parts of
said,
the game, yeah. But we caught the exact same parts of the game. And all I saw was RJ Barrett take it to the rim, finish over somebody. DeJounte Murray come back down on the other end, hit a crazy mid-range fadeaway. And then RJ Barrett come back on the other end and hit a pull-up mid-range jumper.
Man, we'll talk about him, but
Oh my God. But yeah, my overreaction is Trae Young's a bum.
All right.
Trae Young is a bum, and this is DeJounte Murray's team. Actually, my overreaction is that Jalen Johnson is a really good fucking basketball player. That's what I want to overreact to.
had him as a breakout player.
So my overreaction for the Hawks actually is that it's time for Clint Capella to go.
Yep.
I was gonna say that's like my normal reaction. That guy sucks.
That's not an
bro.
overreaction.
We-
Like, that's
we
not an
talked
overreaction
about
to
it.
me, though.
Suck.
It
That's
was
why I
funny
didn't say
because we
that.
talked about it with how
Yeah.
good Trae Young is at throwing lobs and shit, and we were like, oh, maybe it's the Clint Capella effect. Bruh, Clint Capella, you seen him drop that
was
one
so
in
bad.
clutch time?
Bro,
That
They
was
were
so
he
bad.
smoked two. Well, he
Bro.
smoked the dunk. Yeah.
Yeah, the dunk in clutch time. What were they
couldn't
down
catch the
2
lob,
and he
bro.
dropped the
Yeah.
lob, bro? Come on, man. Come on, cuh.
Bro, that was really
That was
bad.
so bad.
That was really bad. And he missed the layup right before that or some
Yeah.
shit, right? Yeah. I didn't even get to see that, but I saw the smoked lob, and that was rough. That was real rough. Like, see, like, for me, I'm not dropping a lob on an 8-foot rim. Like, you're 6'10". You can't drop a lob on a 10-foot rim,
No,
bro.
that's unacceptable.
Like, I wouldn't drop the lob. Tom wouldn't drop the lob, and Chris wouldn't drop the lob. So why are you dropping the lob? You're in the NBA. Like,
Yeah. In regards to Trey Young, I'm not too concerned. I've been very vocal about this over my time as a podcaster. Trey Young, what is this, his 6th season now or his 5th season, whatever it is?
I think it's
He's gotten off to a slow start every season. We were doing the same shit last year.
Yeah.
Last year he got off to
No,
a
he
slow
always
start
does.
too.
He always does.
And we're saying, oh my God, Trey Young. That's why he wasn't an all-star last year. He had great numbers by the end of the season, but last year he got off to a shitty start. So I'm not concerned about. You would like to see him get off to a quicker start, obviously, especially considering the guys like Jalen Johnson and all the role players are playing well. But I'm not concerned. He'll come around.
I mean, it's 2 games. That's what we're gonna say to probably all of these overreactions, but that's why they're overreactions.
Yeah.
I'm not too worried about Trey Young or the Hawks really. I do think they move on from Capella sooner rather than later.
Yeah,
Not just because of one game, but just because it just goes to show like it's just gonna fall apart over time. They just paid Okongwu all
Bro,
that
it's
money,
Onyeka
so-
time.
Yeah, it's
time.
They're gonna get him involved.
It's time to make the future now. Well, by the way, since it just popped up on the screen real quick, did anyone catch any highlights of that World Series game from yesterday?
No.
Lord have mercy. It was a fucking crazy-ass game. Corey Seager hit like a 2-run bomb in the 9th to tie the game. And then Adolis Garcia hit a walk-off, like, I think the next inning or some shit like that. Bro, it was insane. I saw the highlights of that. I'm like, that's insane. What?
When do they play again? They played
Tonight, I think.
Tonight?
Yeah, then they play tonight. I'm actually excited to watch. Like, I haven't watched any playoff baseball for the most part, so like I kind of want to watch this. But all right, yeah. So next up, we'll move on. The Brooklyn Nets. And my overreaction is Cam Thomas is a top 5 scorer in the NBA right now.
Pretty much.
When I saw him last night, I was like, "This is who Matty J thought Colin Sexton was going to be
Yep,
last year."
you're so
it's
fucking
Cam Thomas.
right.
It's Cam Thomas. This kid is a bucket in every sense of the word, and he's going to be one of those guys that we talk about, like that's just super fun to watch, that we all love and appreciate. He's just
He gives me Lou Will vibes.
yeah, like Lou Will.
He
Jamal
gives me
Crawford,
big
those
time
kinda guys.
Lou Will vibes. Yeah, I mean 2 games and he's been the best scorer on the team for both of them. That's wild.
Yeah.
He moved into the starting lineup and then continued to do it. So
I think Ben Simmons has been good for this team too. I mean, the rebounds and assists are there. The activity's obviously there. The concern with Ben Simmons is just he's still not being that aggressive. And you know, you have a guy like Cam Thomas going for 30. You have Mikal Bridges. You have other scorers on the squad, but I feel like for this team to get to where they want to go to, Ben Simmons has to be one of the better scorers on this team. I mean, you look at it. Cam Thomas has been great so far, but they're still 0-2. You know, they're still missing some more extra oomph, and I think that comes from Ben Simmons, and hopefully that'll come with time.
Another guy I've heard that's gotten praise on the Nets is Dennis Smith. I know his numbers probably don't look great, but his like time on the court, like he's been good on defense, which you always love to see Dennis Smith
defensively,
play
he
well.
turned a
Yeah.
fucking corner,
Yeah, he
bro.
completely-
Last
Yeah.
season, he became a very good guard defender, like point of attack
Yeah.
defender.
You always love to see a guy like Dennis Smith.
One
play
of my
well.
favorite guys that I want to give flowers to is Royce O'Neal, because like he's like a mini Draymond, bro. Like last season, he started the whole turn where he like started to contribute in every asset of every area of the box score, and like through 2 games this season, he's once again doing that. Like he's like a mini Draymond. I love Royce O'Neal. But yeah, I mean, look, the Nets needed scoring. Cam Thomas is providing that, and they're still losing games right now. So they got to figure it the fuck out over there. or else this thing's gonna get off the
Close
rails.
games too.
Yeah, they have been
Lost by
playing
one
close
and then
games.
by what 5?
Yeah, I
Five.
mean, last night, like, there's really not much you could do
Nope,
when,
Oh
there
my
ain't a
God.
when
goddamn
Luka's
thing
going
you
for a
could do.
50-point triple-double, pretty much. You really can't. Bro, I have him in on my fantasy team, and
That
we're
shot was
doing
stupid.
the lock-in scoring. So after the other night against the Spurs, I was like, you know what, 30-point triple-double. I know Luka's great, but he probably won't have a better game than this week, so I'll lock that in. And then that motherfucker goes for pretty much a
Bruh.
50-point triple-double. It's
Bro.
insane. We'll talk about
we
it.
will
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
about
we'll get
him.
into it.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about him. So the Nets, we move on from them. All right. Next up, the Washington Wizards sitting at 0-1. There's not much to draw off of
gonna say,
because it
I'll
was
let-
one game.
I'm not gonna lie. I
Didn't watch a second of their game.
I didn't watch a second of that game either, but when I box score watch, it looks as though they're going to be the worst defensive team.
Yeah, I
in the
mean,
NBA.
giving up 140 is not really that good.
And also, what happened?
Pacers.
Pacers.
Yes, they played the
Lord.
Pacers. Pacers have a great
Pacers
offense,
are a good
to be
team.
fair.
I mean, yeah, that's fine. They're definitely good enough.
But
That's tough.
yeah, I don't know what to say for this team.
I think
Oh.
you hit it on the head. Their defense is going to be piss poor, man.
Oh, Kyle Kuzma, 25 points and 0 assists. that also.
He was going for
Kuzma thing.
not a Snell. Who goes for points with nothing else?
Points with nothing else.
There's
Michael
someone who's
Porter?
like a post. Michael
It is
Porter
Michael
probably
Porter
is the
Jr.,
poster
yeah.
for that. Yeah, but
Well, he's
he
the
was.
poster for no assists. but
Yeah, he was on good pace to have just
No
points
bad.
and no other box score. Kyle Kuzma for a
Michael
majority
never
of
swing-
this
I
game.
love those.
he
Michael
finished
never
with
swing the rock Porter.
Finished with 2 boards and 2 blocks. Okay, so he
Yeah, I mean, these guys should be able to put up points having Kuzma and Jordan Poole, who could get hot on any given night, but the defense leaves a lot to be
I just
desired.
feel like their personnel seems better than this defensively. Like in their starting 5, Kuz, Denny, and Gafford are all like good defenders, and then Tyus Jones is like a decent point guard defender.
They're
Is Jordan Poole just that?
small they don't really have point of attack defense.
That's true.
Like Tyus is cool, but he's so small. Jordan Poole obviously isn't really a good defender. Kyle Kuzma's probably average.
Yeah,
Denny, you could probably say, is the best defender on the team.
He
but
is.
Denny's not really like a point of attack
Yeah.
defender.
they don't have any like tenacious defenders that
Yeah.
are, like making a lot of noise or anything.
I mean, they still have DeLon Wright on the squad, who got 25 minutes. Who's I love DeLon Wright. I'll always hype him up, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I like to see that Bilal Koulibaly got a lot of minutes in this one too. In his first game, 23 minutes, had 3 blocks, didn't do much else. Aside, 4 rebounds. And
Yeah, I
3
mean,
assists.
they're probably gonna let Ball, do his thing all season. I mean, drafting him with the 7th overall pick. There were a lot of guys on the board who probably could have contributed more to winning right away, but I think they took the guy who they believed had the most potential, and he probably has the most potential on the team
Yeah,
in
for
terms
sure.
of just untapped potential. So he's going to get a lot of burn all year. It's probably going to be a lot of ups and downs with him. I mean, in this game, only 3 points, but he had 3 blocks. Like he's an athletic freak.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I hope they give Denny the ball more as well. I hope they let that man, figure out what he's got behind everything else. All right, next up, the 0-1 Philadelphia 76ers. And this was thankfully one of the games I actually watched. Finally. My overreaction for the Sixers is, I mean, they didn't even play bad.
No, they didn't.
Like, they kept up with the Bucks, but granted, it was the first game where Giannis and Dame played together.
Embiid struggled down the stretch.
My overreaction is Tyrese Maxey is a top 15 player in the NBA. Is my overreaction to this game.
top 15 is just insane.
Yeah.
But
What's the
I'm
point
like,
of an overreaction?
I'm like just gonna disregard it like it didn't happen. But I actually have 2 overreactions because, like you said, this was one of the games that I actually got to watch in full. But first one, I think Kelly Oubre might have a case at being the 6th man of the year if he plays like this.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's not gonna average 27 on the season, but he was great in this game, and that's what Kelly Oubre does. He could score the ball, and he's gonna bring you a shit ton of energy. I mean, he looked fucking phenomenal in
He
this
really
game.
did.
And being that he played so well, being that, Jaden Springer played good in this game too off the bench. He didn't score, but he was active. You have B-Ball Paul off the bench. You have a guy like Pat Bev. You have all these energy guys really off the bench. And then you have Tyrese Maxey having a game like he had. My second overreaction is once these dudes trade James Harden, they're going to be right back in title contention. You get two more really good role players. If Tyrese Maxey's playing like that, Tobias Harris is just being Tobias Harris, a cool 20 points in this game, just being Tobias Harris, as mid as they come. I think if they get two more really high level role players in return for James Harden, this team will be right back in title contention.
As much as I love Tyrese, I don't know.
They're deep, man, and when they trade Harden, they're only going to get deeper. Obviously, they're not going to get a star-level player in return for Harden, but you look at the collection of role players on this team. You add two more really solid guys. You're looking at a really, really, really good group.
Kelly Oubre did that guarding Dame as well.
Yeah.
He was guarding Dame.
Obviously, he didn't do a great job in terms of the box score.
No, he did not.
He brought the activity and everything.
He was talking
and
shit
really good energy.
Bro, he's talking to that fan.
To fans, bro. While he's guarding Damian Lillard.
He said something like, would you scam to get those seats?
Yeah. He's fucking comedy.
Oubre looked great. I like the 6th man of the year thing. I really think he could bring a ton of talent to this team. Yeah, I thought it was interesting down the stretch that they went with they kept Oubre on him and didn't put like the Anthony Melton on him. I don't know. I just felt like
even Pat Bev.
Yeah, I thought Dame was just blowing by Oubre and kind of getting whatever he wanted, but
which he was.
he literally was, but often is the case with Damian Lillard. I think the Sixers could be good. I mean, Embiid also, I don't remember the stats exactly, but he did struggle down the stretch. Am I wrong?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he didn't.
And they lost by
He didn't
one.
play great.
He did not play well down the stretch.
The Bucks
of
are
that game.
probably, as crazy as it is, probably going to get better as the season goes on.
Oh,
But they looked good. They looked about as good as you want to in a loss in a season opener.
Yeah, I mean, Joel Embiid had more turnovers than assists in this game. He had 7 turnovers with 6 assists.
Yeah, you're
Shot 9 for 21. That obviously wasn't the best Joel Embiid performance, and you're 1 point away from beating what a lot of people think is the best team in the NBA.
Yeah.
And like I said, you're only gonna get better once you. I'd rather have whoever I'm gonna get in return for James Harden than no James Harden at all. You know what I mean? So
even just the mental aspect of getting James Harden out of the locker room, even if they only get draft picks, in theory, it's still a plus for them at this point.
I'm going to stick with the teams that are winless, so I'll head to the Western Conference real quick. At 0-2, the Memphis Grizzlies. And my overreaction is they're going to be far behind the 8 ball by the time Ja gets back. That's my overreaction.
yeah,
It's a fair overreaction.
I don't know. They've looked fine.
They haven't
looked bad. You won against, obviously, last night you won against the Nuggets, who are the best team in the NBA. And then in game 1, you won against the Pelicans team, who clearly looked just hungrier than they looked, in my opinion. I did catch a good amount of that game. I watched a condensed game on the YouTube, but they look fine. They're just obviously missing that superstar that is Ja Morant. I mean, in game 1, Desmond Bane had a 30-piece. He looked good. And then this game against the Nuggets, it was really kind of an assortion of guys. I mean, you had 6 guys in double figures. Derrick Rose looked awesome off the bench for them in this game versus the Nuggets. But I think the Grizzlies will be all right. But I do agree with you. I think just Ja not being there and being in this dogfight of a Western Conference, they're going to get a little bit behind, and it's going to be a lot of ground to cover once Ja gets back. So
They're going to be a nightmare 7-seed matchup though in the playoffs.
If they even make it.
Yeah, if they do make the playoffs, so I wouldn't be one. I'd want to, if I'm one of those higher seeds, I'd want to avoid them
in the first round. Yeah, I think that's a fair overreaction that they just can't make up the ground they lost without Ja. They're losing close games, which you really hate to see. They get the Wizards tonight, so
that needs to be a W.
Yeah, got to win that one. It's hard for me to have an overreaction after 2 games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Well, yeah, I mean, I remember last year we did. Every time I think of like we're doing overreactions for the first week of the season or whatever, I remember last year we did a tier list after the first week. We did a tier list and we based it only off that first week. But
yeah,
you know how Trunks is. Trunks just takes everything for his own interpretation. So even though we did it based on the first week, he projected a little bit.
Yes.
But the Kings started last year, 0-5, and we were like, yeah, like the Kings have to be in F tier. Like the Kings fucking suck. And Trunks was, even in the preseason, like Trunks was high on the Kings, higher than all of us. And he was like, nah, bro, like I don't care that they're 0-5. I'm not putting them in F tier. We're like, bro, you're a fucking idiot. Like,
bro,
they're one of the worst teams in the NBA. They might go winless, all this shit. And then they were the fucking 3 seed.
But shout out to Trunks because he was right. Like he called it on the Kings last season. But at the same time, we were grading these guys based on what they had done to that point in the season.
Yeah.
If you're 0-5, you automatically have to go
Speaks for
in F.
itself,
Like what?
0-2 is one thing.
It just shows a lot of the difference between the NBA and the NFL.
Yes.
Like the NFL after week 2, if teams are starting 0-2, we're fucking concerned. The NBA
get a lot more from
right?
it,
The NBA, there's fucking 82 games. You start 0-2, you could go 80-0 the rest of the way for all we know. Like it's such a long. I mean, no one's going 80-0.
Yeah, I feel like for an NFL team, you have a good idea through 3 games, as you should, obviously.
Yeah.
But with an NBA team, it's like I probably need 15 games before I start to even consider what a team really
The
is.
NBA too. I think JJ Redick was talking about this on one of his podcasts. He said that he looks at the season in quarters, and I think a lot of NBA fans do exactly that, just because of it's easy mathematically to do it in quarters, 80 games, 2020, 2020. But really, none of this shit matters until after the All-Star break.
Yeah.
It really doesn't. Whoever's hot after the All-Star break, that's who's going to, secure their playoff position, stuff like that, be hot going into the playoffs. These games don't fucking matter. They really don't.
No,
They really don't.
Besides
for one team.
I know exactly who he's talking about too. Love to hear it. But yeah,
Took me a second, but
that's how I feel about the Memphis Grizzlies. So, all right, next up, the 0-2 Houston Rockets, and where do I start? Honestly, look, Dylan Brooks hasn't been bad. Like Dylan Brooks has not been terrible. I'm trying to think. How do I want to react?
This is a team actually that starting 0-2 might matter. And why do I say that? Because you lost 2 in a row to your peers. The teams that you get compared to, that the fan bases are always beefing on Twitter. I always talk about Rockets fans. I fucking love the Rockets fans on Twitter. They ride or die for them. But
pieced by Orlando.
That's
a
just
bad loss.
right. It's a rough start.
And then lost in OT to the Spurs.
Yeah.
Yeah. My biggest overreaction to the Rockets might be that Jalen Green just isn't that guy.
Yeah.
He looks super inefficient. He just hasn't looked great. I mean, he and Fred both struggled in game 1. They all struggled in game 1 versus the Magic. But then last night, I mean, Sengun balled out. Fred balled out.
So I was about to say, my overreaction is preseason means nothing. Preseason means absolutely nothing. But continue what you were saying. Fred balled out.
Fred balled out last night, but Jalen Green still struggled. He's just so far in his career struggling to just put it all together.
Mm-hmm.
Put together an all-around game. And I like Jalen Green. I'm a believer in Jalen Green. I think those athletic tools and that scoring ability, like that combination doesn't come around all the time. Like there's very few guys who have that. But he's just struggling to impact winning when he's not scoring the basketball. That's the step for Jalen Green. Be a leader and, make some noise on the defensive end, make some noise playmaking when the shot's not falling. That's the next step for him. We know Jalen Green could get buckets, even in these games where he hasn't been that efficient. Like, we know Jalen Green any given night could give you 30. So,
yeah, my overreaction would be that too. That Jalen Green just hasn't shown anything other than being able to be that volatile scorer. So, just gotta hope he can get something going.
Sengun's the best player on the team. That's my overreaction to this. He is the best player on the team.
That's fair.
And I mean, I don't even think it's an overreaction because through 2 games, he's been the best player on the team.
Player, yeah.
And yeah, like we were talking about how bad he looked in preseason, and then here he is through 2 games. He's averaging like close to 20, like 14, and
That's my
6.
most improved guy.
So
was it? No, it was one of them.
he was one of your candidates.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think he was
Maxey
your
was
dark
my
horse.
guy.
He might.
Yeah, he was my
your
dark horse. Yeah.
So you're on that. You're on the
Yeah.
Şengün bandwagon. But yeah, nah, it's rough for the Rockets. Maybe the Rockets are just never gonna be good ever again.
It's not even that. It's just they're just not even just a year. They're probably a few years away still. You know, these guys just need to develop. Amon's going to take some time. Jabari Smith hasn't looked that great through 2 games, which is definitely a little bit alarming too. He's not even just not looked that great. He's looked a little bit like uncomfortable out there.
I was thinking this is a bad fit for him. I just don't like the roster for him.
That was my concern with the Rockets offseason, was that there was just how do I word this? There was just too many guys that are in similar tiers in terms of scoring the ball. So, yeah, like you have a lot of guys who could score, but the pecking order might be a little bit misconstrued and confusing. And you have a guy like Jabari Smith, who was your 3rd overall pick last year, who his development is key to the franchise, who is sometimes getting phased out of the offense because, you know, Şengün's going to have the ball. Fred, obviously, like I said, you know, a few episodes ago, you paid Fred fucking, $30 million a year? Like, Fred's obviously going to have the ball in his hands. Same with Dylan Brooks. Like, you just paid him a shit ton of money. Like, he's obviously going to get his shots up. Jalen Green's going to get his shots up. So, Jabari Smith, you know, I just named, 5 other guys who are going to have the ball in their hands. Jabari Smith becomes kind of like what he was last year, a sit in the corner catch and shoot guy, and it's just
hindering.
You have to give Jabari Smith reps as a scorer, get him in spots, don't just have him standing around. So I think that's Ime Udoka's biggest challenge this year, honestly, is not just coaching these guys and developing them, but figuring out a pecking order and figuring out a way to get each individual guy in the best positions for them to succeed and impact winning. So it should be interesting. I think they're gonna get better as the season goes on. They're gonna be a team that, if they make a push, they're gonna make like a late season push. You know, they'll get hot towards the end of the season. I think it will be a struggle bus for them. Like probably, like I said, quarters of the season, this first 20 games, it might be a little bit of a struggle for them. But I think they'll turn it around as the season goes on.
They've also had a fair share of locker room drama too, and so like
that they cleared up.
Last year was just a
that they've cleared up.
You're still recovering from that. Last year was just a mess. Like they all hated Steven Silas, right?
Yes.
So
this is a first season under a new head coach,
right?
So that needs to be, goddamn, that needs to be.
That's what Ime and Fred should bring to the table, bigger than basketball. Just the locker room presence and the leadership. So we'll see how it goes for the Rockets, man.
Yeah.
All right, next up, the 0-2 Portland Trailblazers. My overreaction is Scoot really not him? Is he really not him? It's 2 games, and of course these are overreactions. I think Scoot will be perfectly fine as he figures it out. But through 2 games, it's been fucking rough for him. Like real rough for Scoot. And I'm a little, I can't say like I'm not concerned at all, but he'll get right. It's just, I don't know. For a guy that we lauded as someone who's going to come out of the gates and be a quality NBA player, these first 2 have been ugly, like real ugly. So
I just think they're not really setting him up to succeed in a way. Obviously, it's 2 games into his career. They have so much time to set him up to succeed. So, like, I'm not giving up on them, but in terms of an overreaction, I mean, you have Matisse Thybulle starting.
Yeah.
That's just not going to cut it with a guy like Scoot Henderson. He needs spacing around him. So your front court is Matisse, Jeremy Grant, and DeAndre Ayton. In terms of, your 3 front court players, that's probably one of the bottom 5 shooting units in the entire NBA.
You just can't have that.
Just strictly based off the fact that you have Matisse out there.
Yep.
who's literally a nothing on offense.
Start Brogdon for the time
Like,
being.
and, you know, even Ayton, like, I like Ayton. I think he should be better in this specific role, but he doesn't really stretch the floor either. Jeremy Grant could stretch the floor for sure, but, you know, and now Ant Simons is out, I think, what, 4 to 6 weeks, right?
Yep. This is Shadon's team now. That's what this is.
He had a nice game.
Right, I mean,
23 shots.
I'm not.
He has to.
I'm not the coach, but I think with Simons out, I think you make the starting lineup Scoot, Brogdon, and just let Shadon run the three. If you're gonna get beat because of your defense, then get beat because of your defense.
Right.
But like,
Let these dudes develop as scorers.
especially Scoot, like put him in the position
Play
to
to their
succeed.
strengths, yeah.
I'm not concerned. I just think he'll get accustomed to the NBA coverages. He'll get better as the spacing around him gets better. One against a tough Clippers team in game 1, too. I mean, you're going up against the 3-guard rotation of pretty much Westbrook, Paul George, and Kawhi. Like, those are the guys guarding you. It's not going to...
Yeah.
And we all know Scoot was ranked higher on the top 100 list than Westbrook. Westbrook probably took that a little bit personally.
Was he really?
Yeah.
I did not know
Yeah.
that.
Westbrook was like bottom 90s and Scoot was like in the 80s.
And then Westbrook was on pace for like 696 dunks through like 2 quarters or some shit.
Yeah, like he probably took it a little bit personally, Ross. So
I think with Scoot, the thing is, like, no matter what you see on the court, you know that the raw tools are there for him to succeed. So it's all about just, you know, getting those reps in. They played him. I was looking at the box score. They played him 36 minutes his first game. That's a lot. Like, no matter who you are, that's a lot to play a guy for his first NBA game. And just, you know, like you said, with not really a strong suited team for him and a strong situation around him. So he'll be all right. He'll be fine.
He's got that Ant Edwards frame, though. He's got like that NBA ready body. There's a bug on you, by the way, buddy. Oh, you could have killed it.
I just, you know.
You just threw it on me.
You'll be all right.
All right. Next up, the 0-1 Minnesota Timberwolves.
man,
That was a disgusting first game. Edwards and Towns shot like shit. All right, my overreaction is this just ain't ever gonna work. That's my overreaction. This just ain't ever gonna work.
I had them missing, I think, the play-in, so we're getting knocked out in the play-in. Yeah, it's never gonna work. My overreaction would be that they just need to move off of it sooner rather than later.
I mean, yeah, these guys
Stink.
they shot what 16 for 52. Edwards and Cat.
Christ.
Yes.
That's bad, bro.
Horrible. 16 of 52.
Yep.
What is
And
that?
Gobert only shooting 50% from the field doesn't really help much either. 50% for a guy like Gobert who's only taking fucking dunks and layups doesn't really help either.
He did have 15, 13, and 4 blocks.
Yeah, I mean, we know what Rudy's going to do defensively. Rudy's, you know, he's always going to help your defense. He's always going to help your defense. That's what he brings to the table. But, I mean, for these guys to shoot fucking 16 for 52, it's rough. And
They only lost by 3. So I guess there's a silver lining there. Like, you have your 2 best players shoot like fucking shit.
yeah, but that's just not a recipe for winning basketball.
Yeah.
You shot 34% as a team.
Yep.
Like, I mean, exactly, because you attempted 100 shots as a team. Made 34 of them. Like, that's just...
Math.
That sounds so much worse. Like 30, it's crazy to say, but 34 out of 100 sounds so much worse than 34%. If that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yes.
Like-
No, it does.
Like, if they only took 70 shots
Yeah,
and shot
exactly.
34% and be like, all right, whatever.
They
But
took
100 shots and only made 34 of them. Like, that's... It's just not a recipe for winning basketball. And I think this team might be missing something off the bench too. That's my biggest overreaction, is they're lacking a spark plug off the bench. I know Naz Reid is a great, like, everyone loves Naz Reid. Like, that's a common take to like Naz Reid and what he brings, and they just paid him, but he's great as a backup center. But sometimes all the time, I feel like off the bench you need guard play that's a spark plug, and they're lacking that. I mean, you look at their guys off the bench in this first game. It was Shake Milton, Naz Reid, Troy Brown, and Kyle Anderson.
Yeah, it's
Like,
not
if
gonna get
that's
done.
going to be your 4 off the bench all year, and then you have Edwards and Towns struggling to shoot the way they did, like, you're missing a spark, and you're missing just overall scoring, because even in the starting lineup, like, that's it. It's Edwards and Cat. Mike Conley, he's efficient, but Mike Conley's not going to bring, like,
12 points a game,
spark in terms of scoring, if that makes sense.
Not anymore.
Mike Conley will bring a spark in terms of what he does otherwise, like his playmaking and his defense. Same thing with a guy like Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Like, he'll bring some type of spark with his defense. Same thing with Rudy. He brings a spark with his defense. Kyle Anderson, he'll bring a spark with his energy and his playmaking. But you're missing, like, a spark plug scorer off the bench, and maybe Shake Milton, forms into that as the season goes on. But
I don't trust that.
There's no
I
reason.
definitely don't trust that.
my biggest reaction for the team is probably they're overall lacking some serious scoring that they're going to need. I mean, they put up 94 points in this game, and, I mean, Cat and Edwards had to shoot 25 shots apiece. Like, it's just not a winning formula.
Right.
It's just not a winning
For a
formula.
team whose two best players are supposed to be so good offensively,
Right.
for you to struggle on offense is really, really bad.
Yeah. All right, we'll stay in the Western Conference because there's one specific team and one specific player that I definitely want to talk about. That is the San Antonio Spurs. And my overreaction is that Victor Wembanyama is going to be the greatest basketball player to ever live in the NBA history.
My more, like, tame overreaction is I don't even think that's, like, that bad to say, but is that he might win Defensive Player of the Year as soon as, like, next year. Like,
My dark horse was for him
this
to win
year
it
was
this year.
Victor Wembanyama. I mean, he just, like, the instincts this kid has at 19 years old, and obviously the length and skill set to be impactful on that side of the floor. But on offense, it's just like when I was watching that first game, I'm like, yo, throw this kid the fucking ball. Like, they just don't give him the ball. And then when he gets it, like, cook Jabari Smith.
So he only shot 7 for 19 from this game, but it's not even the efficiency that I care about. It's just like the shit that he was pulling off at that size is what is so fucking cool to me. Like the fact that he's doing like step back jumpers from 3, like he looks very comfortable in the mid range. I mean, that was something that was kind of known from him coming out too. Like he's very comfortable in the mid range. His playmaking is obviously advanced. We all knew this.
He gets
But
the
just
ball.
the fucking lobs that he catches too. Like 2 of them now. Through 2
robbed
games? Well, that one was crazy. That one was crazy.
Yeah.
He caught one that was thrown from half court, and he caught it backwards and then dunked it. And I was just like, bro, like this shit should not be possible by a human being. Like it just doesn't make any sense. And then in game 1, he had a crazy ass lob too. So, bro, Wemby's just something special. But I don't want to put all the spotlight on Victor Wembanyama because it shouldn't all go on Victor Wembanyama. Devin Vassell's been fucking amazing through 2 games, which I said that Vassell was going to really have a great season, and he has so far through 2. Keldon Johnson has had spurts where he's looked really good too. Even though in the first game of the season against the Mavs, oh my God, he really choked it down the stretch. 2 big-time turnovers.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah.
That was bad.
He was just doing too much, man. He was just doing too much. And that's where, I mean, I think I'm pretty sure I said this when we covered the Spurs, like our win totals and stuff. I just felt like this team was missing some playmaking to really, really compete. And you see that down the stretch of a game. You have two costly turnovers.
Well, I think Trey should be the starter.
Yeah.
Or at least the closer in this case.
Yeah.
'Cause Trey has played, even though he hasn't been phenomenal, he's been solid.
He had a really good first game against the Mavs. Not so
Exactly,
much
yeah.
last night against the Rockets, but
He's just the only.
I mean,
point
he's
guard
still
on
got 30 minutes. Like, he's still going to be their 6th man. But my biggest overreaction to the Spurs is actually they're going to have 3 guys who average 20+.
Yeah.
I think it's a real possibility. And there's not many teams who do that.
Not at all.
Then, like you said, Devin Vassell has been he was torching. This dude is a bucket. Like, he's a scorer. He's one of those guys who, like I mean, I'm sure this is something that I'm not the only one who says this, but it's something I feel very strongly about. In today's analytical NBA, game, obviously 3-pointers and getting to the basket, that's the most important thing. But to be the elite of the elite, you have to be able to get to your mid-range and get a bucket. And Devin Vassell, especially in that Maverick, because that game I really watched in full. This one I only really watched highlights, not going to lie. But he was getting to his spots.
Yes.
I mean, when you're able to get to your spots and get the shots that you want, it changes everything for you. Obviously, in basketball, you have to be able to counter and take what the defense gives you. But if you're able to have the upper hand and make the defense adjust to you, then it changes everything. If you're able to get to your spots and make the defense guard you, and that's exactly what Devin Vassell does. He's a professional scorer, man. And, you know, not really an overreaction, but just I'm sure everyone's in agreement on this one. The Spurs are going to be fun to watch this year, man.
Yeah, man.
They're going to be must-watch television, obviously because of Wemby, but they have a collection of guys in that starting lineup who are just fun basketball players to watch.
To whatever extent I can say this, it seems as though Greg Popovich is genuinely going to enjoy coaching this team. Like, he seems like through these first 2 games, he just looks more like revitalized because of the Wemby, like obviously Wemby now being on the team, Vassell, Keldon. Like, I'm very happy for these guys. Like, they have a super bright future. And you could at least lock in that Victor Wembanyama and Devin Vassell will be there long term. Like, those are 2 absolute rock solid building blocks.
I think Sohan too.
Yeah,
will be there long
with the
term.
right role.
I think you just need a guy like that who does the thing. If anyone would be the odd man out, I think it would be Keldon.
Yes,
but they paid him already, right?
They did, but it was only a 4-year, $80 million
crazy,
deal. It
yeah.
wasn't even like some team would absolutely be willing to jump on
It's
that.
a
given the
good
opportunity.
contract, yeah.
The Spurs, Zach Collins has been good overall, but good for Wembanyama too, just letting him play his game.
Well, yeah, because Zach
Jeremy has to
Collins
play
will
five.
do that dirty work
Yeah.
and get
Yes.
down and dirty, and it just allows Victor on both ends of the floor to kind of just roam around and find the open space.
I got
Long
mad at
term,
one point.
Wemby's got to be a 5.
Yeah, I got mad at one point because they were like showing Victor Wembanyama while Sohan's at the line shooting with one
Bro.
arm,
Well, on the
and I'm like, bro, why are we showing this?
in the Mavericks game, his fucking box score was on the screen like for 75% of the game.
Yeah.
Or even when he was on the bench. And I get
Yeah.
it, bro. Like, he's generational, but
The other thing is the Rockets game, he wasn't having like a crazy game until the fourth quarter and overtime. I think he had 11.
well, that's
in
how it
just
was in the
fourth quarter
Mavericks
overtime.
game
Yes.
too. He got hot at the end of the game and
Yeah.
almost brought them back. I think that's something to note too with the Spurs that's been very interesting. It seems like throughout the course of the game, Pop isn't drawing up much for him, which does make sense because Wemby is just so talented and freakish that he's gonna get his just from taking up space and being in the right spot. But it seems in these 2 games that have gone down to the wire, it's very clear when they need a bucket down the stretch who they're going to. And I think that's awesome. Like, obviously, Victor's almost 100% bust proof in my opinion, but for a guy like that, for his confidence in his first 2 NBA games that went down to the wire to show him like, hey, you're our guy down the stretch. We're going to live and we are going to die with what you do down the stretch. If we need a bucket, we're going to go to you. So I think that's great for his confidence. I think that's great for the team's confidence to know like, hey, like I talked about it with the Rockets, my concern is the pecking order. I think Popovich is making it very clear what the pecking
For
order is.
majority of the game,
Right.
it's Vassell, but when it comes down to it,
Right.
yeah, it is.
Even with a guy like Jeremy Sohan, who, was a high draft pick, has some tools, he clearly knows his role.
Yes.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, he never plays out of his role. His role is very clear and established, and that's only going to help a guy like he's a young player who has a long career ahead of him.
Yes.
That's only going to help him knowing like, hey, this is what I'm here for. I'm going to get boards. I'm going to push the pace in transition. I'm going to play really good defense. And if I have a shot, if I have a chance to get to the basket, like, I'm going to do that. But I know I have other scorers on this team who getting them in the right spots is my priority.
Yes.
Because that's the key, especially when you're starting a lineup like this with no true point guard, and Jeremy Sohan essentially is your best playmaker and your lead playmaker. So his development and him knowing the pecking order and who needs to get the ball in what spots is the key
Only
for
gonna
this
make
team.
him better. Yeah.
Because, Victor, we know what Victor's going to be great. Devin Vassell, we know what Devin Vassell is going to be and could be. Even Keldon Johnson, like, we know Keldon Johnson could give you 20 almost every night.
Yes.
Jeremy Sohan's probably the key to this team's future, honestly.
Yeah.
So they're fun, man.
Is
Yeah, they are.
in the mold of a Draymond. Green.
Right.
He is in the mold.
And
of Draymond
that's
Green.
clearly Pop's vision for him
Yes,
too.
absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. Like Pop has made it so clear with even a guy like Trey Jones off the bench, who like he comes in and he knows what his role is. A guy like Zach Collins, like he knows, hey, like I'm here to do the dirty work. Like I could get buckets down low if need be, but I'm here to rebound and block as many shots as I can.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
I think it's really awesome having a young team like this where just everything is so established. Like everyone knows their role. Everyone knows what they're there to do. It's fun to watch, man. Like I said that like 5 times about the Spurs, but they're really a fun unit,
they are.
dude.
It's a Popovich team.
But I will say one thing, and maybe I'm by myself on concerning about this, but I feel like the hype and the crazy hype of Victor Wembanyama like concerns me on how the team's gonna react to this throughout the entirety of the season. Like, because if the Spurs do relatively well, it's not going to be, oh, Devin Vassell's really hooping. It's going to end up mostly being, Victor Wembanyama's generational. He changed the entire outlook of this team, which, of course, he did, yes. But, like, all these other guys still need to get their credit.
The one thing I'll say to that is if there's one organization I have faith in to keep that all in check, it is the Spurs, because
That's true.
these guys have never let the media, and I know it's different guys, different personalities, so at the end of the day, what difference does it make? But when you have a Popovich-led team and a team that really doesn't see much turnover as far as that goes, like they know what they're here to do. They know, and Popovich, the point I wanted to make about him, he makes guys feel appreciated. He makes sure that these guys know what their role is and know if they're succeeding in their role and if they're not succeeding in their role. And that's what it feels like is the difference between them and like the Rockets. Is there's no, well, maybe not the Rockets this year going forward, but there's no egos. There's no like I have to score, I have to put up numbers. Just do what you're here to do, and you'll get yours.
So I agree, but I feel like from now until obviously back then, the big difference is social media.
Of course, yeah.
Like social media changes everything.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, right.
Look, we think about it. A lot of the kids that we're talking about right now are our age. A lot of these dudes that we're talking about are our age, or some of them even younger. So like we know how our mindsets are. Like social media is almost pretty much a part of our daily life. Like we go through that shit. Imagine all you're seeing is your teammate getting all this credit and you get none of it. Like you're just there with all this. And yes, I understand internally it's completely different. But yeah, I'm concerned about that a little bit, and I hope that doesn't affect this team.
You know, that's why I said if there's one organization I trust to keep it under check, it would be like the Spurs. But yeah, I get it.
Wow, what a monologue on the Spurs.
Yeah, that was long.
Shout out Wemby.
All right, next up, we'll stay in the Western Conference. We will go to my favorite player and the Los Angeles Clippers at 1-1 currently. Actually, my second favorite player. My favorite.
Your boy got
player.
locked up by Jordan Clarkson.
He did. That was bad, bro. Bro.
That was crazy.
Clarkson put him on.
He locked him up.
Bro, Kawhi is hilarious.
Kawhi is hilarious.
I honestly don't have a single thing to say about the Clippers, bro. Exactly what we thought. Bones Island, cool. Congrats, Bones.
Get James Harden.
Yeah.
Norman Powell, cool.
Yeah, actually nothing to say about the Clippers. Congrats on being 1-1. You guys earned it.
Have you guys seen the story about? I'll try to say it quickly, but
He had 36 on 17 shots.
So that's what I didn't watch the game. I saw a lot of people saying that they gave the ball to Kawhi down the stretch, which
it should have been Paul.
It should have been Paul George, but it is Kawhi Leonard, so I get it. But yeah, it should have been Paul George. But no, I saw this one story once of Paul George on, I think it was his podcast, and Terrence Mann. And they were talking about Kawhi and just how naturally funny he is. And they have this thing where, like, if you airball in practice, you got to run.
Yes.
And Kawhi airballs, and everyone's just like,
this is great.
Just like, so what are we going to do? And Brian Shaw's like, no one's above the law. And Kawhi's just like, I'm not running. He's like, it's basketball. I'm an airball again. and Terrence,
again.
I think it was Terrence Mann. He said like 20 minutes later, someone airballed, and he's like, see, now you in everybody's head. Now everybody's scared to airball. And he's just like, he's so naturally funny.
I hope to God these dudes like stay healthy and make the playoffs and all that good stuff, bro. This is gonna be such a fun team to watch for the rest of the season. Actually, is it even a fun team to watch? I don't think it's a fun team to watch.
I'm not, going out of my way.
If Russ dunks the ball 700 times, like you said.
Yeah.
Not going out of my way to watch the fucking Clippers.
Unless they get Harden.
All right, next up, the team they played, the Utah Jazz, 1-1. Here we are. I also don't know what to
Got
say
nothing
about the
to say
Jazz.
about the Jazz, yeah.
I think it's time to trade Jordan Clarkson,
I
man.
think so. He's been there so long.
He's been there a while, and I get it. He's awesome, but let him go to a contender and be the sixth man. He doesn't need to be a starter. And, like, you have so many young guards, man. Just, like, embrace the... I get it. You want to have vets.
Yes.
Like, that's a
course.
key, very important key to rebuilding teams. But I think you go full on with this youth movement and just find a trade partner for him. Get Abaji and Keontae in the starting lineup.
Taylor Horton Tucker is starting for this team right now. That's crazy.
He's been good. Like
Um,
last year. I don't know. He's been this year.
But Jordan Clarkson, for me, like, he shot 4 of 13 in this game. But what I feel like with Clarkson in Utah is he's learned how to impact the game in other ways if he's not just
He'd
scoring.
be so meaningful to a contender. For that
Yes,
exact
like
reason,
this
yeah.
is a completely different version of Jordan Clarkson
That's
than
why
it
he's
was
the
back in
starter
the
for
day,
him.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Like this is a completely different version of Jordan Clarkson. He's a good playmaker now. Like at points he can defend. Does he care about defending all the time? No.
Yeah.
He's a bucket getter. We all know this. But when his shot isn't falling, he's shown that he can now impact the game in so many other ways, and that's awesome to see out of Jordan Clarkson, who is a guy that we all looked at as, well, if he ain't making shots, he's fucking useless on the
Yeah.
basketball court. So I love to see that out of Clarkson. Like Utah has really changed him as a player.
Yeah, they just have so many guards, bro.
They really do.
Look at who played for them last night.
Sexton, Kendrick, wait,
Chris.
Chris Dunn?
Christopher Dunn, yeah.
Chris Dunn is still in the league?
Yeah, bro.
Chris Dunn got like picked and then dunked on or something like that. In this game,
Oh
right?
my God.
Yeah, but they've all guards off their bench. And
Bozzy,
Kelly Olynyk.
Keontae, oh my
And
God,
Kelly
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just,
Taylor Hendricks needs to play.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you had this awesome draft class, and you don't even have room for these guys to play. They'll play though, both of them, Hendricks
Eventually,
and
for sure,
Bryce, because they're like lacking wings.
Yeah.
Like Lauri Markkanen's really only their true wing, and is he even a true wing
No.
player? Or is he
No.
more of a big?
He's
like,
a big.
yeah, like they literally don't have a wing in their rotation, so
Yeah.
those guys will play, but there's definitely moves to be made. Definitely
For
moves.
sure.
Shout out to them though, being the Clippers. They earned it. Lauri Markkanen's him, bro.
Yep.
Next up, the 1-1 Sacramento Kings. I didn't
Harrison
watch.
Barnes has been balling.
He
I
had a
don't feel
great
like
game.
he always starts
Yeah.
seasons off like fucking crazy.
Like 18 a game, somewhere around there. and
That's
then
my
just, like,
boy.
off a little bit.
No.
know that
He
for a
doesn't
fact.
start the season at 18 points per game. Harrison Barnes typically finishes the season around 18 points per game. He starts the season
fair,
around
yeah.
like fucking 29. And then after the first like 5 to 7 games, he drops it down. Bro, yeah. Harrison Barnes is a good basketball player. He didn't have a crazy game in game 2, but game 1 he went nuts. De'Aaron Fox is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean this was a fun game to watch the highlights of.
I didn't even watch the game.
We need another playoff
Didn't
series
see
of
the
this.
highlights.
Oh my god.
We need another playoff series of the Warriors Kings and
For sure.
Deadpool. I wish you were here, honestly, to just give your thoughts because you said
You
you
would help
wanted
us.
us to talk about this. But the Warriors benches look cool. Moses Moody through 2 games has looked really solid for them.
Yes.
Cum buckets looked like a cum bucket, but no, the Warriors are good, and I think it's
What
going to
does a
be
cum
Well, I
bucket
was
look
about to
like?
say, what does that entail?
12 points,
Okay.
5 rebounds, 5 for 11 shooting.
All right, sure.
But I think this, when they're able to move Chris Paul to the bench and have Draymond back, I think it's going to be really like, obviously Draymond's so fucking impactful, but being able to have Chris Paul run the second unit is going to be super, super good for this team. Not having to have Curry and Paul on the court at the same time as much is going to be super important for this team. Like Chris Paul was good in this game
He
too,
was.
Yeah.
but having him be able to get these guys in the second unit in spots, a guy like Moses Moody, a guy like Kuminga, get them in spots and get them some easier buckets off the bench, it's going to help this team. But the Warriors are cool. The Kings. Davion Mitchell's washed.
This was about the Kings.
Is Davion Mitchell washed?
But we could pair these two together because they're
Yeah.
back to back.
Yeah.
So Kings and Warriors. Is Davion Mitchell even a legitimate NBA player?
I don't know. You
Like,
tell me. That's your guy.
I know. I love Off Night, bro. That's my guy. Fuck. No, he's probably not. Like, is the offensive game ever going to come around for him enough? Like, he had games in the playoffs where he looked good, and in the preseason he looked good, but God damn it, it ain't never going to happen, is it? I don't know, man. For the Kings, my overreaction is just they're going to be the epitome of mid this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then as for
Is
the Warriors,
Kevin Herter washed?
Red Mamba.
I'm serious.
A red velvet.
0 for 5? Come on,
I feel like Kevin Herter is the most streaky player ever. Because remember how he started the season last year? The man was shooting damn
last
near
year just
fire.
went like
That's
this.
right.
50% from fucking 3 to
Yeah,
start
I was thinking.
the season.
I was like, is he? And then I remember that. Yeah, he was.
And then he tailed off like bad towards the
fell
end of
off
the year.
completely.
So we'll probably end up seeing the complete opposite now. He'll
Yeah.
have a shit start to the season, and then
Sabonis has been
mid-season.
really good in the 2 games.
Yeah, of course.
Really
We
good.
expect that.
Yeah.
We expect nothing less from Sabonis.
You see Fox signed with Curry Brand?
Yes, that's cool.
Pretty cool.
That's so fucking cool.
I got cooked by.
But what's your overreaction to Golden State? Like, where are we at with that?
When they get Draymond back, they're a title contender.
I would say to build off that, Steph might be a legit MVP contender again this year.
I think he got no MVP buzz this offseason. None.
No.
None.
I wouldn't be shocked if he wins
41.
that shit. Yeah.
That would be crazy.
Can you imagine if he just comes out of nowhere and wins it?
That would be crazy.
Top
My
5 all time.
overreaction is I'm not so. This has nothing to do with this, but I'm not so sure Klay Thompson's going to be back next year.
Oh man, bro.
He has to be, right? But like, I don't know. No extension yet.
He's
yeah.
looking streaky himself.
But that's Clay right now.
Yeah.
That's we're at the stage of Clay's career where it's like I don't expect consistency from him anymore.
Right.
All right, next up, the 1-1 Phoenix Suns. They haven't had Bradley Beal yet.
They don't have Booker tonight.
All right, so here's my overreaction. Will they ever be healthy? That's my overreaction. Will they
That'd be a
ever
legitimate
be
concern.
healthy?
I mean,
That's all I got to say.
yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't have the answer to that question.
How many reps are these guys going to get together, and how much, if they, let's say they are healthy by playoff time, how much does that impact them, you think, or do they just, I mean, we saw that Lakers game. I think we might have talked about it a little bit somewhere, but KD almost single-handedly beat the Lakers.
Yeah. But then he had a shit fourth quarter. That
Well,
needs to be said too.
he had it. Okay, he had a shit fourth quarter, but the whole team had a shit. They couldn't do anything.
Yeah, they
other
lose
than
the
go
fourth
to-
quarter, like 29-11, I think
Something
it
like
was,
that.
or something like that.
The whole team couldn't shoot. No one could create a shot. They couldn't catch the ball. Like they were turning it over. It was just a really
28-11.
bad performance from the Suns, like others, if you want to call them that.
Yes.
And with Beal and Booker back, that should clean up because these guys obviously aren't going to have as much responsibility on their hands. But I watched that Lakers game, and the whole time I'm thinking, bro, like if they had Beal or Booker in this game, but like when they have these guys, it's gonna be really hard to
So is
defend
Beal
them.
playing tonight?
That I don't know. I saw that Booker was ruled out with an ankle, which was it? Has it been his ankle the whole time?
I don't even know, bro.
I think so.
It has. Okay.
I think
Beal had the back. That's right.
I think it probably benefits them though. If these guys are a little bit banged up, then let them sit now and get out rather than having them play these meaningless games and
Right.
risk a serious injury. I think in this particular game against the Lakers, like you said, it was KD and a bunch of fucking scrubs.
Yeah.
He did his best, but the wheels clearly fell off, and that's why you go team up with a guy like Devin Booker. That's why you make the front office go get a guy like Bradley Beal. So you're fucking, what's KD, 36 years old?
35, I think.
Yeah, KD's old. He doesn't need to be carrying like this anymore. So
Book was the best player in game 1.
yeah,
So
It's just like it's so like that's all I was thinking was if they had one of these guys, the Lakers
Yeah.
wouldn't have an answer for them.
yeah. Hopefully they do get healthy because it is going to be rough to win games like this.
yes.
Yeah.
If it's only one of them, you could book it.
Jordan Goodwin was good in this
Yeah.
game against the Lakers. Shout out to Jordan Goodwin, man.
Jordan
Good boy.
Goodwin was really good in the first half, and then just was non-existent in the second. But all right, we'll stick on that. In that game, we'll go to the Los Angeles Lakers, and my overreaction is Anthony Davis is the most bipolar player in the entire NBA. That's my overreaction.
That's fair. My overreaction.
I don't even
would
think
be
it's an
the-
overreaction.
The minutes without LeBron and even games without LeBron are going to kill them because they
Kill
are
them.
bad when LeBron's off the floor, man.
Horrible, bro.
Like LeBron wasn't having a great game until like the fourth quarter, but statistically, but even when he was in the game, like him just orchestrating the offense, guy played the entire fourth quarter.
Bro, he was a plus 22.
I know we know who LeBron is. Like he's a mutant as far
He's
as
a freak.
you know
He's a freak.
longevity.
Oh
But,
yeah, he is.
He's a freak in the sheets.
Yeah, he is.
Yep. But like to have the guy play as many minutes as he played all season, you can't do that to him. You need to preserve him for the playoffs.
So they did in game 1. Game 2, he played 35.
But they needed him in game 2, and he played the whole fourth quarter.
Whole fourth quarter, yeah.
Whole fourth
But they
quarter.
also
And this game definitely meant a little more.
Right.
KD
Yeah,
versus
yeah,
LeBron
that's
for the
true.
first time since 2018.
That's true.
Like, you know, this one definitely meant a little bit more.
I'm sure
than
he
just
wasn't
a-
objecting to playing the whole fourth
Yeah,
quarter. Like,
yeah.
the
No,
other
but
thing-
I agree with you. It's rough for the Lakers when it's not LeBron orchestrating
Yeah.
everything. D'Lo has been
Oh man,
so mid so far
Bro.
through 2 games. Austin Reeves hasn't looked like himself.
No.
So
Killing me, bro.
yeah.
It's killing me.
Um,
They also okay, I will say they also don't give him the ball. That's another rough thing. D'Angelo Russell has the ball
it's
in
the
his
ball a
hands
lot.
way too fucking
he
much.
just doesn't fit, man. And I said that when they got
Who,
D'Lo.
D'Lo?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just
So when I was watching the game, I felt like D'Angelo Russell, for the most part, was doing all the right things.
He
He
really
just
wasn't.
could not hit a shot.
Bro,
Like
I'm gonna be dead honest with you. When I was watching that fucking game, all the reads that he was making felt like
from
all the
like,
wrong reads.
I felt like
He
the
had a
shots he
4-on-1
got.
fast break.
No, that was bad. I felt like the shots he got, like he was taking open shots and just not hitting them.
Yeah.
And it's too often a problem. That 4-on-1 was atrocious. He literally ran up the floor, ran back to the
Oh my
3-point line,
God,
and
bro.
bricked it.
right.
Just
That's why you
bad,
get a
yeah.
guy like D'Lo to
Yeah.
be able to
brick shots.
create no to be able to create and maintain the offense when LeBron's not in the game. And when you have a guy like D'Lo, that how do I word this? That takes away from Austin Reeves' ability to do exactly
Yes.
that.
Yep.
And when D'Lo's not doing that effectively, it looks bad for everyone else. And I do think D'Lo's the odd man out, and if this continues, he'll be on the move. Rob Pelinka is not
absolutely.
Not
clearly
shy.
clearly showed us last year he's not scared to make a move. So if there's a move to, you know, get the ball in Austin Reeves' hands more, and they think that'll better the team, then adios, D'Lo.
But that's the thing, it will, because his
Right.
possessions
Right.
are just so much more efficient than D'Lo's possessions. Like
Yeah.
the shots they get, the looks they get, like everything is just so superior.
And I
Like,
will say they've looked suspect on defense too. Those two guys in the backcourt.
so
Yeah.
so Reeves is solid.
No, I think Reeves is solid overall as a defender. I'm just talking about through 2 games in this season.
Yes.
It's looked rough for the both of them,
Yeah.
and it's a concern.
Bro,
Yeah.
D'Lo said he wanted to be like Derek White, bro. Get the
He is
fuck out
not
of
at
here.
all.
Get the fuck
Obviously,
outta here.
AD makes up for a lot of everyone's defensive mistakes.
They're also
but-
missing Vando. In
You're-
the regular
yeah.
season, as much as
Yeah.
you dislike him,
Yeah.
in the regular
No,
season,
yeah,
they're missing
Vando
Vando.
obviously is going to help a defense.
The other thing is Darvin Ham, I think, waits way too long to make adjustments.
Yes.
Like Torian Prince was getting cooked. And then when he did make the adjustment to put Christian Wood out there and put a bunch of size on Kevin Durant,
That
it
made
changed
no
the game.
sense.
It changed, but it changed the game that they were.
Christian fucking Wood was locking up
It was
Kevin
Christian
Durant.
Wood, but then it was double teams, even like
Yes.
triple teams at
Yes.
times. And that was just a product of no one else being able to produce for the Suns. The other thing that was weird in that game was the Suns went small ball at one point with Wood and Davis on the floor. I thought that was weird. I don't.
It's definitely a
with KD at the
strange
five,
They had
strategy.
right?
KD and
They had KD, Gordon.
Yuta.
Oh, because Nurkic picked up his 5th foul with like 6 minutes left. I felt like you just had to ride it out. Like just leave him in.
Yeah,
Who did they
definitely.
put in?
strange
Yeah, I agree.
strategy.
I know what
It
you're
was like
talking about,
Goodwin,
yes.
Eric Gordon, KD.
I think Yuta was out there.
Yeah,
And probably a Kogi.
yeah, and a
Or
It
Kobe.
might have been
Grayson
that.
Allen, yeah.
It might have been that, yeah.
Um,
But Christian Wood, bro, he played
could-
really good fucking
yeah,
defense
he
down
did.
the
He
stretch.
played really good defense.
If he could figure out a way to be impactful if he's not scoring, it's going to help the Lakers a lot.
Christian Wood will help this team.
For sure.
He's
A
a
rebound too.
he's a good shot block. Like he's not a great defender overall, but
He's not a good defender.
He's a good shot blocker.
Had a good
at
defensive
least.
game,
Like
though.
he could block shots.
Yeah.
And he closes possessions.
Right, and we know what he could do in terms of the pick and roll game offensively. Like playing with a guy like LeBron, if you're able to set good screens and find the open spot in the defense, you're gonna make a living.
Boy was flying.
Yeah.
Jesus. That boy was flying.
Shout out Jason.
But
Bean.
yes, yeah, I agree. All right, I think that's all we really got to say about the Lakers. All right, next up, the New Orleans Pelicans sitting at 1-0 at the current moment.
My overreaction is the Pelicans, when healthy, are must-watch television. This was a great game from pretty much everyone in this first game. It started off with Brandon Ingram. This game I watched. I made sure to watch this one. It started off with Brandon Ingram doing a lot of the heavy lifting offensively, and then Zion and CJ just kind of took over down the stretch. And even Dyson Daniels only had 6 points in this game, but Dyson Daniels had an impact early on. You know, Jonas Valanciunas did his thing on the boards. Herb Jones, we know what Herb's going to bring defensively.
Ryan is playing for this team.
Yeah, bro.
He's an announcer
Wow.
for the NFL.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
He's doing both. That's crazy.
No, but I think the Pelicans went, and you know, Jordan Hawkins they're gonna bring him along slowly as the season goes on. This team just has a lot of offensive firepower, I think, and they're must watch television.
My overreaction is the Pelicans might be title contenders. That's my overreaction.
Jesus Christ.
Bro, I mean, look, to be fair, if this team is healthy, they have as good of talent as any team in the entire NBA.
Yeah.
Like dead on, like you can't even
Raw
like
talent?
argue.
Yeah,
this.
for sure.
Because Zion, Brandon Ingram, and CJ is as good a three as you'll find in the league.
Zion is so. Oh my god.
That poster that he had on Jaren, bro.
Oh man.
Holy,
That was nasty,
That is a-
bro.
he
Oh my
murdered
God.
Jaren.
That's a whole lot of man
Yeah,
flying through the air.
he just makes me so happy when he's on the court playing.
Yeah.
He really does. You watched the game, so I gotta ask: did he look solid defensively?
Zion,
Was there anything glaring? Like,
I think it's a lot of what we already knew. His feet are slow.
yeah.
His feet are slow, but he looked fine.
What's your
I
overreaction?
don't think Zion's ever gonna be like a great defender.
No,
but,
I don't think so
You
either.
know,
My
But-
overreaction would be I wouldn't go as far as title contenders, but my overreaction would be if fully healthy and can establish some consistency, they are one of the better teams in the NBA, and they're not a team you want to see if they do end up
Definitely
in like
not.
that 7-8 range. You
Yeah.
do not want a 6-7-8 range. You do not want to see them in the first round of the playoffs. It should be another dogfight in the West this year.
All right. Now we're on to the undefeateds with 2 games under their belt. The Oklahoma City Thunder sitting at 2-0, sitting real goddamn pretty.
wait, yo, I thought we were going in standings order.
Oh wait, did we?
We
did I
missed
not
someone
talk
in
about
one
the East?
team.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
we
okay.
do have one in
Oh
one
wait,
team.
yeah, we.
Sorry,
yeah,
the Eastern Conference. Yeah.
Come on.
So we're back in the East, and our 1-1 New York Knicks. And I'm gonna be honest, my overreaction is we're the clear-cut third best team in the Eastern Conference.
I love it. My overreaction is RJ Barrett's good at basketball.
Let's
That-
go.
that man has looked good through 2 games, bro. I mean, he's like, I've always said RJ is really good at getting to the basket, horrible at finishing, but he's looked
2
great,
games.
bro. That
That
little
has
euro he
changed.
had on Trey was
Oh,
crazy. When
well,
Trey
look at
tried
what
to
you
take
just
a,
said.
take a charge at the 3-point line, but that was a move that RJ usually doesn't make, and his jumper has looked. He looks more comfortable with
He's
the ball in his
finishing through
hands.
contact a lot
Yeah.
better, and the mid-range jumper just looks smoother.
He, like I said, he looks more comfortable with the ball in his hands.
Chris is like, I can't wait for this all to turn around and go to shit.
Chris is just waiting to hate on Julius Randle. But
Oh, Julius has played like shit though.
Julius is
To
dog
be
shit.
fair,
Thought he
to be
was
fair,
good in this game.
I was about to
against
say,
Yeah,
to be fair,
yeah.
even though he isn't scoring efficiently yet, he has impacted the game in other ways.
Yeah,
He almost
be
had a triple double in
completely
this
fair.
game, and
yeah.
you know, I felt like down the stretch, he made one clutch basket down the stretch in this game too. I thought down the stretch he didn't. If Julius Randle's not hurting you, he's helping you.
Exactly.
If that
I was,
makes sense.
I was just gonna say if he
Yeah.
can figure out, he has the skill set and the talent to be effective without scoring the ball, but his mind is just I have to score the ball. Like he always is taking shots and trying to get his shots, or he throws a wild pass out of a double team. We know that about
God,
Julius
bro, he does
Randle.
that often.
But if he can really be comfortable with letting, and that comes with RJ doing more with the, doing more as
And
far as
being
scoring
consistent
and being
doing it.
consistent, right? And Quentin Grimes and those guys. So they're, I've always liked Julius Randle as a player. Like he's
I've
just,
been the biggest Julius Randle hater.
I've always kind of given him the benefit of the doubt in some instances where if the team around him was more consistent offensively, that would enormously help
Scale
him.
it back.
Right, yeah. But now if that happens this season, we have to see. Maybe he will still chuck up shots and throw the ball into double teams. So
Through 2 games, I kind of like what I'm seeing, even though he was really bad in game 1.
he was
But
really bad.
that's such a good sign because Randle and Brunson
was I was gonna say
against
Brunson
the
wasn't great either.
Celtics
Yeah.
struggled, and it was a close game. And then this game,
I wanted to ask what you guys think about the new flop rule and how you think it's like integrating.
I got to see it for a little bit longer.
Because I saw like people were hating on it because like at one point Brunson got called for one and it was literally a foul on Tatum because Tatum stepped on his foot. Like that's gonna happen. I get that, but I'm curious to see how it integrates and the whole like not calling it until you find the right moment like that.
It's gonna be strange.
I like that.
And
No, I like it too. I think it's gonna be hard to navigate. No?
I agree. I think it's gonna be strange and it's gonna take some getting used to, and that's something that within the refs, I mean, it's clearly subjective and like up to their interpretation of what they see happen. So I feel like those calls you can't really get mad at unless it gets like super egregious and stuff like that, and they're like calling them when it shouldn't be called constantly. Then I'm sure the NBA will have no problem like getting rid of it. You know what I mean? If it becomes egregious and not consistent. So I think it's a cool concept, but we'll see how it plays out over the year, I guess.
Yo, Sleazy, get out the fucking chat with that. The Knicks stink, bro. Like, you guys barely beat us, and it took a superhero game from Porzingis and a great game from Tatum. Like, what? And Randle and Brunson both sucked. Like, stop it.
Yeah,
no, Sleazy, you're kind of right, though.
Nah, he's kind of not.
You guys are so mid, painfully mid. Derek White, ass. He's garbage.
I didn't say all that, but
Nah, I love Derek White. He's on my fantasy team. He had a huge game. He went nuts last night. Derek White's my guy. But yeah, nah. Shout out to the Knicks, man. Proven to be the clear-cut third best team in the East. Chris, what's your overreaction to us?
Don't got one.
Wow, the disrespect is crazy.
I'll take it.
Actually, could have been worse.
Yeah, definitely could have been
Could have
worse.
been worse.
Yeah,
Honestly, we're
that's what I
moving
said.
on.
I'll take it.
We're
I'll
moving
take
on to the next team. We're moving on to the next team before.
Yeah, we'll talk about the Knicks plenty.
Real disrespectful shit. The Cavaliers sitting at 1-1 as well. The Knicks, former playoff foe in the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Don't got nothing to say about the Cavs.
I haven't
either.
watched a single
Sorry.
minute of Cavaliers basketball.
Definitely make it a priority of mine to watch some Cavaliers.
Yeah.
They have been in 2 really close games, escaped versus the Nets, Donovan Mitchell hit the dagger, and then lost a close one versus the Thunder. Donovan Mitchell has looked good so far, but
Max Strus is hilarious.
yeah, like obviously,
And he went 2 for 11 from 3 in this one.
Yeah, there was no Garland and no Jared Allen in this game, so it's kind of hard to evaluate.
Yes.
Donovan Mitchell put his backpack on and did the best he could.
Mitchell putting up 43 is a team is something that the team like the Cavaliers should not be doing.
Yeah.
DJ said the Cavs stink. Mobley stink. He's got no offensive bag. It's true. I mean, you're right. He doesn't, but
We knew this.
yeah, like that's not surprising to me. All right, next up, the 1-1 Toronto Raptors. And I'm going to be honest, a lot of these 1-1 teams in the East, I have not watched much basketball of, to be completely real with you guys. For the Toronto Raptors, someone else want to start this? Because I don't know what to say.
Yeah,
I don't know what to say about the Raptors because I haven't watched. So
I think Scotty Barnes might be him. He had a great game versus us last night, but the Raptors collapsed, and I think that's kind of something we expected. Not them to collapse,
God, he had a
but
triple-double?
yeah, but their offense to be lacking. overall, and that's been kind of a problem with the Raptors for years now. But especially after losing Fredward, they started off great, and Bulls Twitter was not that happy last night in the beginning of that game, and then I think it was more of the Bulls flipping a switch than the Raptors collapsing. Hence why I don't really have that much to say about the Raptors. They got the win in game 1 versus the Timberwolves, who shot, like we said, Cat and Edwards shot, what did I say, 16 for 52?
Yeah.
So it'd be pretty embarrassing if they didn't win that game. And then
We'd have more to talk about.
Yeah.
So Trincali said in the chat, he goes, my Cavs hot take is that Donovan Mitchell is going to be the greatest Knick of all time.
Oh, boo.
Bro, I don't even... No, stop, bro. Stop with this Donovan Mitchell stuff. He ain't going to save shit.
Yeah, but I don't really have much to say about the Raptors. The Raptors are probably exactly who we thought they'd be.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Do we want to just move on from the Raptors?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, so we'll stick with the team that they faced last night. Chris, up to you, buddy. Here you go.
Let's freaking go, man. That's why I made sure we went back to the 1-on-1 teams, because I think I'm gonna have to leave after this, but I'll give my analysis, man. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that they pulled through. We're 1-1, but this was culture changing. We lost to the Thunder. We got embarrassed. Only good player in that game versus the Thunder was Kareem Abdul-Drummond. Blocked Chet Holmgren. Took it down. Took him down the length of the court and crossed him up. Something only Kareem could do.
Something that would only happen to Chet Holmgren, I feel like.
Yep.
And something that only Drummond would do.
Yeah.
Only big man in the league who's capable of something like that. But we got embarrassed. And then the reports come out. Oh, Sleazy's tagging me on Twitter like I don't get the post notifications and know this already, that we're having a fucking players-only meeting after game 1. Billy Donovan came to the locker room after the game, and they said, nah, get the hell out of here, Billy. We need to have this is game 1, and we already need to have a players-only meeting. And then they come up against the Raptors. Zach LaVine's shooting like shit. Only finished with 8 points in this game on 3 for 14. It was rough for Zach LaVine. Thought it was over. I thought everyone was going to get traded. And then DeMar DeRozan and Alex Caruso happened, and they saved us. And they saved the season. 2 games into an 82-game season. They saved the season.
They were up like 20 and almost blew it, right?
Who?
The Bulls?
No.
No, the Raptors were up 20.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Or like,
the
The Raptors were up by a lot.
Oh,
we came back. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I'm sorry.
DeMar and Caruso led the greatest comeback I've watched in my life.
Yo, thank God, I will say on that last play that Zach LaVine didn't take the horrible fucking
Yeah, it was a good pass.
What a great read from Zach.
I mean, Caruso was fucking all over the floor defensively, made obviously the biggest bucket of the game. DeMar DeRozan backpacked in the fourth quarter and overtime, finished with 33 points in this game. And I mean, you saw it after the game. I mean, everyone embraced that half court. I mean, this was really a season-changing game. I mean, I always say it's not about, how you get your ass kicked, but it's about how you respond to getting your ass kicked. And the Bulls fucking responded. They showed resilience, man. Something that I think this team has been lacking for years. Identity and resilience and the ability to overcome difficult times. They put all that shit to rest, and it's going to be a fun season of Bulls basketball. That's my overreaction. The Bulls are winning the 2024 NBA championship.
So
it's going to be a season of Bulls
basketball.
My
thing, one of the seasons of Bulls basketball. What stands out to me is Alex Caruso had 6 offensive rebounds in this fucking game.
No, he's the best
What
to
the
ever
hell?
do it. I've never quite seen a player as talented as he.
What the hell? All right, yeah, I have nothing to say about the Chicago Bulls. I'm gonna make it a priority to watch some Chicago Bulls basketball soon, so I'm excited for that. I'm actually gonna be staying home tonight, which is great. Sorry, Tom.
Because you're a loser.
Sorry, Tom. I'm gonna be staying home tonight, so I'm gonna be watching a whole lot of basketball tonight, and I'm super hyped. Basketball and college football is gonna be great, phenomenal tonight. If Trunks is in the chat, he's gonna be. He's gonna be shitting on
sloshed
me. In about 10 seconds,
better,
he's gonna be shitting on me. All right, next up, who we got? Let's see if we could speed run some of these guys. The Hornets, the Charlotte Hornets. I don't really have much to say about the Hornets.
When we like talked before, we were like, damn, like we really didn't watch a ton of basketball. Like the team I thought of was the Charlotte Hornets. I was like, what the fuck am I gonna say about the Hornets?
Yeah, nothing about the Hornets.
All right, cool. Sorry to any Hornets fans. Are they all one of you? all one of you.
All one of you.
Next up, the Detroit Pistons. I have a feeling Chris will probably have some things to say about the Pistons. Killian Hayes is the worst basketball player I've ever seen.
Is
in
he
my life.
though?
Yes.
Is he though?
Cade had a big
Game 1, Cade Cunningham put the world on notice. The herky-jerky in and out in the pick and roll game, pull up mid-ranges, hitting three-pointers. I mean, he's just a cornerstone franchise guy.
He's got the worst whistle in the league.
Does get a bad
He
whistle.
has the worst whistle.
And then you have Jalen Duren, who's the next coming of Dwight Howard. Everyone, I'm going to stare into the camera for this one. Everyone bet on FanDuel and bet Jalen Duren to record a double-double. It's the freest money you'll ever make. And Asar Thompson, chase down blocks, weak side blocks. Killian Hayes providing some defense. Jaden Ivey in this game against the Hornets off the bench. And Alec Burks having big-time games. The Pistons are showing they might be deeper than people think because they're going to get Bojan back, and he's only going to help and improve the spacing. But my overreaction is the Pistons have a top 5 defense in the NBA with Cade Cunningham and Killian Hayes as those point-of-attack defenders, having Jalen Duren as a rim protector, and having these high-level energy guys in Asar Thompson and Isaiah Stewart. Beef Stewington also had a great game last night. Pistons have a fun defensive unit. They're going to shock some people this year. And with that, I'm leaving.
Chris out. All right, well, this is going to be fun, Tom.
So
Yeah, man.
This button that the mouse is hovering over
Yes.
in broadcast, that's what you press.
Okay. Then am I, like, save...
Uploading it to Buzzsprout? No, I'll just upload it in the morning.
Okay.
Tomorrow, I guess.
Okay. All right, so, like, just turn your computer off after that?
Yeah.
It'll save?
Yeah.
Okay. Phenomenal.
word.
Wow. Up close and personal with Tom and
Man,
Matty J.
Yeah.
Mad good camera quality.
It's not focused. Yeah.
Yeah, just pull it back. It's fine. It's not that
There
big
we
of a
go.
deal. They don't need to be all up in my grill.
Word.
All right. Next team, Tom. Yeah, just
Hang on.
you could probably go out the side if you want to. It's up to you. I don't even know if my parents are home anymore.
Upload it to Buzzsprout. I'm going to text you how to do it.
All right, bet.
All right.
Yeah, I don't think my parents are home, so you could probably you might have. It doesn't matter which way you go the fuck out, to be honest. All right, next up, the Miami Heat, and I'd say my overreaction for the Miami Heat is that Bam Adebayo is the best player on the team.
Bam Adebayo's best.
Bam Adebayo is the best player on this team now. It's Bam's squad.
Who'd they play the first game?
Um,
Oh, they played Detroit and Boston. I caught some of the.
They beat Detroit and lost to Boston.
Yeah.
I didn't catch much of last night.
Bam is. I love how if you look at the box score, Bam Adebayo, his whole name is in there, no one else's. That's interesting. Yeah, man, Bam is fucking balling. He's taking the Heat slander personally, and I still don't know how how to feel about the Heat rest of season.
They are who we thought they were.
Yeah,
To be honest.
I think so. I mean, they're not one of the more upper echelon teams in the East. I don't think.
Kyle Lowry didn't get blanked in this one.
Yeah, it's nice.
He didn't get blanked in this one.
Hero had a big game.
He did.
You see what Pat Riley said? He was like, "We never considered trading Tyler Hero."
Yeah, get the
Straight
fuck
up
out of
lied.
here, bro.
Straight up lied. Love
Fully
it.
bullshitted them. That's
Love
crazy.
It, love it.
But you know what? That's what you have to say.
Of course, yeah.
Exactly what you have to say.
But
Jimmy Butler's going to be coasting for the regular season again.
yeah, he's gonna try his hardest. I mean, I don't know. Like, if Bam can take
Try
this,
his hardest to not try.
try his hardest to not exert all of his energy before the playoffs is what he's gonna try to do.
Yeah, and if Bam and Tyler Hero could hold it down.
Yeah, exactly. If Bam can take this, I mean, we've said for how long that we're waiting for this offensive leap from Bam as a scorer. I mean, he's always been
A good score.
yeah. But
He's never going to shoot a three. which pisses me off.
It makes no sense, bro. You got Darvin Ham like, yeah, Anthony Davis, I want you to take 6 threes a game, even though you're only going to make
Jimmy's
one.
like, bro, I need you taking one.
Yeah. Jimmy's
Bro,
like,
I need you taking one.
Just throw one up once in a while. When you're wide open, just throw it up. And he's like, nah. Rather, I'm going to dribble into the high post and,
And then
figure
take
it
a
out.
contested
Yeah.
midi.
Yeah.
Take a contested midi.
We'll go from there.
Yo, I'm leaving my garbage here.
All right, you're good. I'll take it.
Scumbag.
Peace out, buddy.
I texted you guys how to do the bus.
You sure did.
Ask me if you, yeah, it's you don't understand.
All right,
no
bet.
problem.
Thanks, buddy.
Later.
Go outside.
It don't matter. Go out wherever the fuck you feel like going out. Have fun at work. But yeah, that's my overreaction is Bam is the best player on the
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, next up. We did the Bulls. Okay. All right, now we're on the undefeated teams. All
Okay.
the undefeated teams. So we'll start with the 1-0 teams in the Eastern Conference, and that's the Milwaukee Bucks. Yeah.
It's
Dame is the guy.
bro. It was so crazy just watching him just pick up where he left off. Honestly, like it's exactly what we think it's going to be.
I don't
I
even
think-
like have an overreaction.
Like, what is the overreaction?
What can I overreact?
I think me and you both had them in the finals at least. Did you have
I
them?
didn't. I had Boston beating
You had
them.
Boston,
and I
that's
still
right.
stand
That's fine.
tall on that.
Yeah, I can't be mad at that.
Still stand tall on that one. Chris Middleton was on the minutes restriction, as we said.
yeah.
He'll be fine. I assume as the season goes on. Look, this is my overreaction. Jay Crowder looks like he knows how to
Yeah,
play
man.
basketball again.
Yeah.
That's my overreaction.
That's big time for them. I mean,
They need him as depth. Like, they really
sure.
need him as depth. Campaign was getting minutes in this one. Yeah, so he's going to need to be a good basketball player for them. But Jay Crowder looks solid. Of course, I'm talking about the Bucks having Damian Lillard and fucking Giannis, and here I am.
Matty J.
Jay Crowder.
Yeah, Matty J would find a way to talk about Jay Crowder when Damian Lillard has a calm 39, most ever in a Bucks debut game.
Bro,
by the way. They kept saying that on
like-
the broadcast.
And the fourth most, I think, in NBA history in a debut.
Yeah, that's tough, man. I mean, he just completely took over, and it was interesting to watch Giannis just be so comfortable taking the
Yes.
back seat. Like that guy just is a winner, but like he will do whatever he has to win.
Most unselfish superstar.
For
in
sure.
the NBA.
Yeah, he just completely took a back seat, and he was like, all right, Dame, go off. You shoot from half court. Yeah, take that size step.
Bro, it
three.
was great because
Cook
like,
Kelly Oubre. Yeah, go
he
ahead.
would get the ball, dribble it out, and then like have like
Look for
call
Dame,
for a DHO with Dame. Like
Yeah.
he was like, "Yo, get over here!" Like it's, and he said before the game, he's like, "Yo, it's his team."
Yeah.
Like, all right, no, it's not. It's not.
It's
but
not,
like,
but it looks like it.
he'll be the fucking closer for this team.
Absolutely.
It's crazy because we've already said like Chris Middleton was a closer for a championship team,
Yeah.
and now you have Damian Lillard.
Now he basically has to be a spot up shooter. Like,
Yep.
It's just so crazy.
Yep.
And then yeah, if you could just find consistency out of their
Rotational
pieces. Yeah, right.
And Brooks still looks good.
I was
at
gonna say
basketball,
Brooks
too.
picking up where he left off as well. I mean,
Strong 2 rebounds from a 7-footer.
that's kind of what he does though. He probably averages like 6 or 7 a game.
Not even.
Yeah,
He
maybe,
averages
maybe.
like 5.5.
Yeah, that's criminal how that and somehow he never gets shit on for it. Like
no.
he never.
No, because, okay, he's great at boxing out.
yeah.
Great at it.
Yeah.
But he's just also great at being like, yo, Giannis, go grab
Yeah,
the
exactly.
rebound.
Giannis, you can have your 17th rebound. I'm cool with 2. But yeah, man, there really is no overreaction.
This
for
team's
the
going to be
Bucks.
fucking scary.
Yeah.
Shout out to Giannis for traveling late in
Oh
that
my
game.
God, yeah.
Late in that
when he
game.
kicked it out to Dame.
And the refs called it a, they said he just
didn't
lost
call anything.
possession.
Yeah.
They said he lost
He
possession. so
literally
they couldn't
threw the
call
ball
anything.
up, caught it, and
Ridiculous,
Embiid
bro.
was screaming about a travel mid.
Mid-play.
Yeah.
As Dame stands there for the wide open look.
Yep.
All right. Next up, the Indiana Pacers. Honestly, my overreaction to the Pacers is they're going to be one of the best offensive teams in the entire NBA.
Yeah.
One of the best. Like, in the similar mold of what the Kings pulled off last year.
I could see
Like,
that.
they'll
yeah.
be one of the best
Maybe not
offensive
like
teams in
historic
the
like
entire
that,
NBA.
but yeah.
That's my overreaction to the Indiana Pacers. To be fair, I did not watch this game, but I had a feeling they would be a great offensive team. They showed that in game 1. So yeah, I really don't have too much to say about them. Shout out to Obi Toppin.
But it was a well-rounded effort. Like they put up 143, and Bruce
Bruce had
Brown led the way
24.
with 24. Like
Tyrese 20, 18
20 and
for
11.
Ben,
Yeah.
14 Buddy, 12 Andrew Nembhard, 13 For Jalen Smith, I think that is. Yeah, it's Jalen Smith. Yeah. Shout out to the guys, man.
Yeah, man.
All right, next
Move on,
up.
not much to say.
Not much to say. All right, Tom, your team. You had a bold prediction
I did have a bold
this offseason. We'll stay in the Eastern Conference for the 2-2-0 teams. One of them, the Orlando Magic. The 2-0 Orlando Magic.
What do you know about that, man?
Wow.
My overreaction is they're the 3 seed. I mean, I haven't had a chance to watch much of them, and I want to watch a good amount of them because I want to stand on business. But stand on business. Franz looks great,
Of course.
and
Paolo has probably the best whistle in the league. How I said that Kate had the worst, Paolo might have the best.
yeah, Cole Anthony has been really good. In
Really
recent
good
games,
after
too.
getting his extension.
And they kind of need that. They need a guy that can just like get his own baskets and create for others. I know Fultz is more of the creator of the two. But Cole, yeah, if Cole can get his own shots, like he's a good player.
Yes.
He can get hot and
I'll give a negative overreaction given that they're 2-0. They definitely need more shooting.
Absolutely.
Like that was something we knew, but it's showing. Like it's
Yeah.
showing. They played 2 trash cans, to be
Yeah.
fair, to this point in the season. So I'm not putting too much stock into what they've done so far. I want to see them play against a good team.
They play the Lakers.
Oh,
Clippers,
beautiful. There it is.
Jazz, Lakers. So
Lakers, Clippers, Jazz, Lakers.
yeah,
Okay.
you're gonna get your wish.
Wow. Okay, I get exactly what I wanted. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're gonna play 2 great teams, and then the Clippers. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, and the final team in the Eastern Conference, the Boston Celtics, 2-0. And
yeah.
the crazy part is that 2-0 has been as like normal and casual of a 2-0 as it could have been for the Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
Like Jalen didn't play well in the first game. And then in game 2, Jaylen Brown goes for 27. Derek White didn't score much in the first game.
Yep.
And then Derek White goes for 28. So Kristaps has 30 in game 1. Game 2 only goes for 17. Bro, this is why this is the team that I picked to go to the finals.
Yeah.
Because I said on any given night, there's 5 guys that could go for 20 plus, 25 plus. And Derek White might just be he should win the award for best role player in the entire NBA if that was a fucking award. Like,
Yeah.
that is Derek White. That is the epitome of Derek White. And that's why he's one of my favorite players in the entire
That
NBA.
chase down on Jimmy Butler.
Bro,
It's crazy.
bro, he's ridiculous.
His bald
He
head.
is the best shot blocking guard in the entire NBA,
Yeah.
too.
And he's next to Drew Holiday now.
Yeah, DJ's in the chat like Derek White is the best role player I've ever seen in my life. But like the thing is, bro, like whatever you ask from him, like if you need him to go get you buckets in a game, fine, he'll go do that. If you need him to go lock down the best player on the other team, fine, he'll go do that.
Yep.
You need him to be a rim protector for your team, fine, he'll go do that.
Yeah.
Like that's a lead playmaker. Fine, he could go do that. Like, it's great. Like, I love Derek White. He is the ultimate Swiss Army knife for a basketball team. And then Drew Holiday just doing casual Drew Holiday things. Like, this team is so legit, and that's why they are my favorite.
Yeah.
They are my favorite. And why I lean them is the defense over the Bucks. Like, the Bucks did not, like, their perimeter defense looked like it was going to be a problem.
Yeah,
like
sure.
It's always the worst thing when you have these like issues and these preconceived notions prior to the season actually starting, and then they're confirmed when the season starts. So, I mean, obviously it could get better throughout the season,
Of
but
course.
yeah, that's rough, man.
A guy you didn't even you mentioned, but didn't even have to go into depth about was Porzingis. I just think he.
Sorry, the chat
ahead,
was
no,
just
go ahead.
hilarious, and I wasn't paying attention to it before. But continue. Go ahead.
Chunks just said, like, why did he go bald? He's so bald.
Hold on. Let me read some of the chats.
Yeah,
Do
go
you guys
ahead.
think
There's a
Matty J
lot.
and Tom will be able to upload the episode to Buzzsprout? I say minus 450. No. Bro. And then he goes, bro, Jay Crowder got VC. He had the undershirt, the arm sleeves. He got dripped out. Okay. All right. What else we got? Looking at
looking
everything.
kinda
Got to
thick,
analyze
it's
everything.
crazy.
Talk about Cole Anthony. Yes, my slime Cole. All right, I agree, DJ. He's insane. Like, why did he go bald? What you mean, Trunks? Every all-time NBA player went bald. MJ, Kobe, Bron, Kareem, not Derek White.
That's true. And they had character arcs. Like
Yeah.
they reached their peak with hair and then shaved it off and
then they just reached
well, they
a
didn't
whole
fall
nother
down.
level.
Yeah.
Then
That's
they
a
just
better
reached.
way to
Was
put it.
Michael Jordan? Did Michael Jordan ever have hair?
I think he had a buzz. Yeah, he had hair in college when he coming in.
Like a buzz, a very
he had short
buzz
hair.
cut. Yeah.
He
very
was
short
set up
buzz
for
cut.
failure. But
How can one be so bald, Tom? Is what Trincali says.
how can one be so bald, Tom?
Yes, that's what Trincali says.
Nah, there's like there's bald and then
There
there's
is levels
so
to
like,
bald.
There's like
First of all, if you-
King Neptune from SpongeBob bald, where he blinds everybody,
yes, that's
and
it's Derek White.
like Mr. Clean bald, you know, like
That's absolutely Derek
there's some
White.
people that are just like, damn, that guy.
You're either bald or you're not, is what Trincali said. And then Chris O'Brien said, we are watching Peak D White.
Peak
Why did
D.
I say
White.
Chris O'Brien? Why did I say that?
Chris O'Brien.
What in the world? All right. So yeah, that's the
What
Boston
was that?
Celtics.
I know. I didn't even say what I wanted to say.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
We got caught up.
Porzingis just unlocks a whole new level to this offense. Like this guy is fucking pulling from 4 steps behind the arc, and it's
As a 7'3" big man.
as a 7'3" big man. Defensively, he's everything as advertised. He's a great rim protector. And just the offense, it just opens up a whole new game to them. And Tatum's gonna be the MVP. We both have him as MVP,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Tatum
So
oh my
far,
God,
yeah,
man.
has been phenomenal. But no, I'm sorry, he has not been the MVP because we now go to the Western Conference. And look, unfortunately, Chris is not here to talk about the primary guy that I'm sure he wanted to talk about. But Chris, I will do you justice and I will speak in your place
We will glaze
for today.
Luka.
I will glaze the shit out of Luka. And Kyrie Irving hasn't even really gotten it going yet this season, which is crazy. And they're 2-0 right now. They're great. They're going to be a very good team.
Luka's gonna win the MVP. and me
Luka's
and you
gonna win the
Are gonna
MVP.
sit here like, how did we not
Pick him.
pick him? Yeah,
Like, why didn't we
this
just
guy,
pick the obvious? Yeah.
bro, threw the ball up with one hand and banked it in, and it's just like shit like that is what you see, and you're like, how did we not pick this guy as the MVP?
Bro, it's not even just that. It's just like all of the whole game. He just does shit that you just look at and you're like, yo, it doesn't make any
Luka
any
is
sense.
one of my favorite players to watch because of how easy he makes basketball look. He just does whatever he wants, and it works.
At
and
his own pace.
Yeah, at his own pace. He makes you play at his pace exactly. And he just makes it all look so simple. He makes the right read. He throws good passes, and he's just man.
Shout out J Kidd also. Derek Lively had a great first game.
Yeah, man.
Hey, bro, he was my sleeper rookie of the year.
Yeah.
Had a phenomenal first game, and then Jason Kidd said, all right, he only played 17 minutes, but he got thrown into the starting rotation. Like, he was now the starter, which is awesome to see. Like, that's exactly what I wanted to see. So he didn't waste any time, and he threw him immediately in. So that was nice to see, in my personal opinion. Outside of that, as I said, Kyrie ain't got it going yet, but Luka's out here doing Luka fucking things, man.
Luka magic.
He is one of the best basketball players I've ever laid my eyes on, and he is the favorite for MVP through 2 games.
He has to be, man.
So, let's see. Luka, the only player in NBA history to go 4 for 4 from 3 in the last 3 minutes of a game or some shit like that. Some crazy stat for what he did last night to close the Nets out. Literally sucked the life out. Okay. I remember back when he was getting drafted, watching the draft lottery, just praying the Knicks got the first pick because I wanted Luka. Look at us now. Yeah, you're right. Look at us now. We got his teammate that's better than him. His former teammate that's better than him. Jalen Brunson, come on, bro. Anyways, I want to talk about another 2-0 team that not a lot of people saw coming. Yes, people were high on them coming into the season, but for them to start 2-0 and for them to look as dominant as they did in Game 1, the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah.
And shout out my guys because goddamn Shea, if anyone's going to give Luka a run for his goddamn money for this MVP right now, it is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Shea might not have a game where he scores less than 30 points.
No,
this
he ain't
season.
going to fucking do it. It's not going to happen.
DJ said something in the chat before that I waited to mention. He said, I can't find it, but he said by the end of the year, Chet could be better than Mobley because his game offensively, and he had 7 blocks.
Yep. Set an OKC record.
Yeah, he's man.
Already he's impactful.
After missing a year.
He's exactly
missed a step.
what the Thunder needed.
Yeah.
Exactly what the Thunder needed. As everyone said, he's exactly what the Thunder needed. And what I like about this Thunder team is there's so many ball handlers that, like, you can run a pick and roll with a guard and a guard.
Yeah.
And that's actually, like, that's one of their most common forms of offense. They like to run pick and rolls where it's like, say Jalen Williams has it or even Josh Giddey has it and Shea's coming up to set a pick. And what are you going to fucking do when you have your best player on the team in the fucking short roll?
Yeah.
Or if he's popping and he has an advantage on the move, bro, I love the Thunder offense. I love this Thunder team, bro. Like their future is bright, but their now is like they're here. They're already here.
Yeah, they're making noise.
34, 11, and 4 from Shea.
Luke Dort had like 25 too or something like that.
He did indeed have 25. Lou Dort had 25 points in this one. Yep. So yeah, I mean, look, they're a great team, and I'm excited to see what they could do. They're a team that, as the season progresses, they're only going to get better too.
Yeah, Chet's a guy that I want
better.
to see more of on the court, but as far as like in the media,
get him out of. Bro. Take him away from the mic, bro. Take him away from the fucking mic, bro. But 16, 13, 2, 1, and 7 is ridiculous.
Yeah, man, he's a damn good player.
Is a ridiculous stat sheet.
He's only going to get more comfortable as the season goes on and integrated more into the offense.
Yes.
This is him coming off an injury. Like 3-4 months from now, he could take another leap. So it's going to listen, him and Wemby for the next 15 years.
Ridiculous.
That's going to be something.
Bro, they're going to be the new evolution of basketball.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to try to find a guy.
Yeah.
And it's not going to happen because they are the anomalies.
Yeah.
And everyone's just going to try to find a guy that's like 7 foot that could do everything. And it's like, we'll reach on this guy just because he did it once in college. And we're like, maybe he could do it.
And if you go play ball at the park and you think bigs are annoying now with like dribbling up the court and shit, just wait.
Oh my God,
give it a couple years,
bro.
Man.
Soon enough, you're going to see a lot of people in like high school and shit that have like these fucking 7'2" big men.
You're going to see an 8th grader that's like 6'10" and plays like Carmelo Anthony.
Mel was 6'8". You're
in
gonna
8th
see
grade?
Oh shit, yes. I didn't realize you said 8th grade. Yep. You're so right. 6'10", playing like Melo, in 8th grade is ridiculous, bro. Yeah, that's a good point. He probably wasn't 6'10" in 8th grade.
Probably not.
He shrunk. He only got smaller. All right, and the final team, and I'm happy we saved these guys for last. I don't really have an overreaction to the Denver Nuggets starting 2-0.
They're the best team.
They're the title favorites. Yeah. They are the title favorites. It's not an overreaction. It's a statement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else for me to really say. If I were to give any sort of overreaction, it's Jokic is going to win another MVP. And again, that's not an overreaction.
I was going to pick him, and then I was like, it's just boring. I really want to go with Tatum, but Jokic just like made so much sense. Yeah, they're the best team in the league. They're champions for a reason.
What's known doesn't even need to be said
exactly
anymore.
Yeah.
So you just say with the Nuggets. I
saw something that they're. Oh, Chris sent it in our group chat the other day. He said they're undefeated versus the West at home with Porter, Jokic, Murray, and Gordon.
Yes. What was it, like 23-0 or
22-0, something like that?
Yeah, it was
unbelievable.
Crazy, bro. They're at home with that team, unbeatable.
Yeah.
Unbeatable.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. Well, that's the NBA so far. I'm going to be doing my best to watch as much NBA basketball as possible.
Yeah, we're going to have better analysis.
I'll definitely have more opinions based on this stuff
absolutely.
Soon enough. And
we'll be able to like hone in on situations and teams more.
Yeah,
it's 2 games into the season. You can't really take too much away.
Not too much I could say about them. Yeah, there's not too much I could say about them. All right. As I said, that is the NBA. But we do have more stuff to cover, and that being the NFL. I'm sorry, I'm going to be dead honest. We're not going to cover the Thursday night game. We'll do that on Tuesday. And we shall start off. We'll start off with our start sits. We'll get into that before we do anything else. We'll get into our start sits because obviously we're going to do the NFL pick 'em and pick who's going to win each game for this coming week. So, Tom, who do you have as your start and who do you have as your sit?
My sit, I don't have yet. I have a start.
Okay. Then actually, I forgot. I do this all the time. Who is your start? Who is your fantasy football start of the week?
Damn, I was gonna say sit Miles Sanders. That boy has a 31% start rate. That is crazy.
Bro.
That sucks.
Yeah. I'm not even looking at start rates, to be honest. I should. But
That's what I usually do on Sleeper. I just go to my team and look at, because I have like different people on different teams and
I got
stuff
you.
like that. You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go for it. So my start of the week, and this is a disgusting start of the week, it's Dameon Pierce. Dameon Pierce has not been good this season. Let's just get that out of the way. It's not entirely his fault. The run blocking has not been good in Houston, but to be fair to him, he has to beat 3 guys behind the line of scrimmage and then figure something out. Hopefully, he just falls into the end zone this week and he has a solid enough fantasy game for you. I mean, look, you're likely starting him anyway because running backs are just at a premium right now in fantasy football, but there's no teams on bye this week, which is the dumbest thing ever when you had 6 teams on bye last week,
Crazy.
and I think there's another 8 next week. So for whatever reason, they just decided not to split things up, so there's no teams on bye this week. So maybe you aren't starting Dameon Pierce, but I think this is the one week that if there ever was one, you start him against a run defense in the Carolina Panthers who has been absolutely horrific this season. So yeah, Dameon Pierce, my start of the week.
My start of the week is going to be Kendrick Bourne of the New England Patriots. Listen, going up against that Miami secondary, this Patriots team is going to have to throw the ball a lot, which probably doesn't give you a lot of confidence because their offense sucks. But Kendrick Bourne in the last few games, 7 targets, 6 receptions, a tud. Before that, 11 targets, 10 receptions. They're going to throw him the ball, and Miami is 29th against wide receivers as of right now. So probably doesn't, probably the guys they've gone up against speak more to that. But start Kendrick Bourne. He's going to have a good game. My sit of the week is going to be Alexander Madison. I don't know how many people are still confidently starting Alexander Madison. I mean, like
he's starting.
Yeah,
I don't think he's confident.
Again, similar to Dameon Pierce, you probably have to start him if you can avoid it. I would. I feel like he's just gotten worse for fantasy as far as the season goes on. Last week only played 53% of snaps against a 49ers defense, to be fair. But sit Alexander Madison. That offense sucks.
I have to do this anyways, even though you already did yours. Who was your fantasy football sit of the week? So there we go. In case we do make anything out of that. All right, and my sit of the week is Cortland Sutton. Cortland Sutton has had 5 touchdowns this season through 7 weeks. I think that's like tied for second in the NFL right now, which is absolutely ridiculous. It just seems like every time that you think that Cortland Sutton's going to have a bad week, he ends up having another good week. So naturally, that means he's going to have another great week this week. I did hype up Alexander Madison all offseason, Chris. I know, I get it. I know I did. But it you know what? It is what it is. But yeah, I'm sitting Cortland Sutton this week against a great Chiefs secondary, and Russell Wilson struggled the last time, and I expect that Russell Wilson will struggle once again. So I'm sitting Cortland Sutton.
Chris's start sits are Kyle Pitts and bench.
Start Kyle Pitts.
Oh, start Kyle Pitts and bench Brian Robinson. He said Robinson. I was like, does he mean Bijan? And I'm like,
no.
I was like, no way. But
Brian
then,
Robinson.
He said Brian Robinson. Okay.
And Trunks said that he's sitting David Montgomery because he is not playing. So good idea. Good idea, Trunks.
Yeah, that might work.
That's probably the smart move. Yeah, I trade for David Montgomery, get 2 great weeks out of him, sat him for one of them, and now he's hurt for the last 2 weeks because naturally that's my luck in fantasy football.
Rough.
Yeah, that's how it works. It's always how it works. All right, so that's our start sits. Did you make your Thrive bet?
I got one right now if you want to go. We have Chris sent his too. So
Okay, cool.
Go ahead.
So before we do anything, be sure to sign up for Thrive Fantasy. Thrive Fantasy is the hottest app on the market in terms of sports betting and stuff like that. Be sure to use code BallGamePod for a deposit match of up to $250. That means if you put in $250, you're getting a free $250 right there. Typically, they end up having some free squares. I'm not sure if there is one up right now. I don't think there is. But typically, when you sign up, you get a free square anyways, where it's like a half a yard for Josh Allen, for example. And then you could make even more out of that $250 that you got, or whatever it is that you could bet on that on that square. So Pick a 2-pick parlay, pair it with anything that we're about to give you, and then boom, you're tripling your money. So be sure to sign up for Thrive Fantasy. Again, code BallGamePod. Deposit match up to $250. So thank you to everyone over at Thrive for partnering up with us. All right, Tom, who's your picks?
I'm gonna go with. Hang on. Oh, I messed up. Hold on. I picked the wrong thing. There we
Trunk, stop saying be better. Fuck you. Fuck you. Actually, fuck you. I should have beat you in fantasy this week, bro. It's some bullshit.
go. My lines are Aaron Jones over 58.5 rushing and receiving yards, and Nico Collins over 59.5 receiving yards. I'm not going to explain them too much. Nico Collins has been balling this season. I think he'll continue to do so against Carolina. And Aaron Jones, I think, is going to just get more acclimated as he heals from that injury. So,
Do you have Chris's?
I do, yeah. Hold on.
I'll say mine. So I have Trevor Lawrence over 233.5 passing yards against a dog shit Pittsburgh secondary. And I have Sam Laporta going over 43.5 receiving yards against the Raiders. I think it's a bounce back week for Laporta and the Lions as a whole.
Yep. Christopher has over on the longest reception at 16.5 yards for Kyle Pitts. And, he also has the over on Nico Collins receiving yards. I did not realize that, but okay. But it's okay. Take Nico Collins. And that's it, right?
You gave 2?
I gave 2, yeah.
Did you give 2 for Chris?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even hear it. My fault. All right, next up. We jump straight into the NFL pick'ems for week, 8 now?
Yep.
Holy shit, the season is flying.
Halfway point, just about.
Oh my God. Next week is halfway point.
Yeah.
Next week is halfway point. Bro, this season is going by so
always
incredibly
does, man.
fast.
The first 4 weeks, I'll say the first 3 weeks of football are genuinely the best time of the year.
It is.
The build-up is just the
It is.
best. Yeah.
And then it's like mid-season, you're like, wow, this season's flying.
Yeah.
And then all the hype is back come late season where you're like, okay, playoff push right now, and then playoffs itself.
And everyone's always fighting for seating, and stuff like that.
Exactly. So
shout out football.
should be a lot of fun. I'm excited. All right, we'll start off the first 1 o'clock game on Sunday, and that is the Philadelphia Eagles traveling to Washington to face the Commanders. The Eagles are currently 7-point favorites. And I think the Eagles take this one. Even though Sam Howell played the Eagles close last time.
Yep. I'm also going to take the Eagles.
I will say, though, if there was ever...
It's in Washington?
Yes. If there was ever a game that Washington had to win, it's this. Like, they have to win. After Jonathan Allen had been so pissed, you lose to the Giants, you need a fucking win. And they're probably going to get smacked around by the Eagles. We'll see what that team is made of this Sunday.
Yeah,
we'll definitely see
sure.
what the Commanders are made of this Sunday.
Tune in.
All right. Next up, Jags travel to Pittsburgh to face the Steelers, and it's pretty much a pick'em game. The Jags are 1.5-point road favorites. I have... Bro, the Steelers, bro. They just keep finding a way to win.
Keep winning.
5-2. The flukiest
5-2.
5
Okay.
We said no 4-2.
4-2.
Oh, are they 4? Sorry. 4-2. The Jags are
4-2.
5-2.
Yeah.
We said they were the flukiest 3-2 team. Now they're 4-2.
4-2, man.
Now they're 4-2.
Oh God, they just they lose ugly and they win ugly.
It's always nasty.
Yeah.
It's just always nasty with the Steelers.
Listen, Mike Tomlin is determined to not go under 500.
I'm gonna take another road winner here. I take the Jags.
Yeah, I'm also gonna take Jacksonville. Jacksonville is starting to heat up. I think they've realized that they're one of the best teams in the league.
Yes, this could be a very big statement week this week for
sure. I can
Jacksonville
see
as well.
And if they lose, then if the Steelers are 5-2 at the end of this
Steelers
week,
are 5-2, bro. Maybe that was a Freudian slip before. Maybe I just admitted that the Steelers are gonna win the game.
Can you imagine they win the AFC North?
Stop, bro. I don't even want to think of
We'll
a world where that is a thing.
That'd be unreal, bro.
All right, next up, the Indianapolis Colts are at home taking on the New Orleans Saints. And the Saints are also 1.5-point road favorites. So again, another pick 'em pretty much. I don't know. I'm like disgusted. Yeah. I would be ready to move on from this game. Not pick a winner.
Nah, you gotta pick one. I mean, it's just like you can go either way.
Well, it's a pick 'em.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of the whole point. I'm not confident in either. I'm gonna ride with Gardner Minshew. I'll take the.
I feel like
take
with
the
all
Colts.
the shit that's happening with the Saints this week,
They gotta get it right.
they have to win,
Yeah,
but that's why they lose.
they crumble under the pressure.
They have to win, but that's why they lose. So I'm taking the Colts. All right, next
You
up.
see, Olave was like when he was getting arrested. He was like, "I play for the."
Yeah,
Saints."
he's like,
The
I play
cop
for the
goes,
Saints.
Cop goes, and
Okay, and all right, that was bad.
Yeah.
That was really bad. He pulled the I'm famous card.
really
pretty
tried
much.
it.
He tried the I'm a football player card, and
that's tough.
It did not work.
Cop took his over. And he sold him.
All right, next up, the Houston Texans travel to Carolina to face the Panthers, and the Texans are also road favorites, -3.5. I'm gonna take the Texans.
The Panthers gotta win a game at some point.
They do,
right?
they do. And if there ever was a game for them to win, I feel like it is this one right now.
I'll take the Panthers. I'm gonna say the Panthers get. I love the Texans though.
I'm a big CJ Stroud guy, so I must say.
I'll take the Panthers for the vibes. For the vibes, I'll take the Panthers. They get
Okay.
their first one.
All right, I'm gonna take the Texans in this one. I'm gonna go with logic.
That's fine. Yeah, exactly. Everything other than vibes points to the Texans. But
right.
fuck it.
Here we go. Dallas at home against the Rams, 6.5-point favorites. I think Dallas does take this one.
This is one where another one where Dallas should win this game by a landslide, but I just feel like the Rams might pull it off. 6.5 is a lot. We've seen some upset. I'll take the Rams.
We have seen some big upsets.
I'll take the Rams. I'm a generational Cowboys hater, and that will never change. So
Okay.
I'll take the Rams.
All right, next up, the Tennessee Titans are at home against the Atlanta Falcons. They are 2.5-point underdogs at home. Yo, this is the week of the fucking road teams, bro.
Road wins, huh?
Oh my
That's what I'm
God.
saying. Like there can't be that many road wins, but also, bro, the Titans suck.
Bro, they just traded Bayard. They're probably gonna be a seller big time.
Yeah,
And this could be Derrick Henry's final week as a Tennessee Titan.
that's crazy.
Wait, you know what? Oh shit! If they win, they're gonna feel like they can compete. I was gonna say Derrick
game.
Henry goes dumb in his final Titans game, gets traded, but I don't want to see the Titans win. So Derrick Henry's gonna go dumb, but they're gonna lose to the Atlanta Falcons.
He's gonna have 230 rushing yards,
and they're gonna lose because
lose.
Bananarama is their
The
quarterback
Titans would
and
lose
Mr.
that
Mayo
game.
boy. So the Titans lose to the Falcons, in my opinion, in this game.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride that. The Falcons win.
All right. Next up, we have the Battle of MetLife. Here it is.
I mean,
Giants, Jets. And technically, the Giants are the home team in this one. They are 3-point underdogs
I don't care.
in this game. I'm taking the Giants.
I'm absolutely taking the Giants.
They gave me false hope last week.
Yep.
Exactly what I shouldn't have. And
If they
naturally,
lose,
we're going to get the
yeah.
brakes beat off us by the Jets.
Yeah, we're gonna get humbled. It's fine.
But I'm going to still pick them.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the Giants.
All right. Miami Dolphins are at home, 9.5-point favorites against the New England Patriots.
Yep.
Call me
Sounds
fucking
right.
crazy. I'm picking the Patriots.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just vibes.
just vibes.
Just vibes. I'm taking the Dolphins.
I feel like I picked the Patriots the last time these two teams played. I think I did.
Maybe you did. Yeah.
But you know what? I think they take one of the two, and I'm taking the Patriots.
Yeah, the Patriots aren't gonna go 0-6 in
And
the
plus they
division.
had a good
Well,
week last week.
1-5. Yeah,
They played well last week. Maybe there's momentum growing here.
it's the Dolphins.
Just for them to get steamrolled.
Yeah, it's the Finns.
All right, next up, Packers
Chris's
at
pick
home.
is the Patriots, by the way. No, I'm playing. He would never.
Packers at home against the Vikings, and the Vikings again another pick'em game. And they are 1.5-point road favorites.
Who was it? I wasn't Bill.
Packers
Packers
at
at
home against the Vikings.
Yeah, I'll take the Packers.
Really?
Yeah, I like the Packers. I don't know why. Just vibes again. Divisional game, anything can happen.
Jordan Love
Either way.
fucking blows.
Jordan Love does fucking blow.
So I'm going
That's
to
a
take the
good point.
Vikings. I'm going to take the Vikings in this one.
I'll stick with the Packers.
All right, next up, the Cleveland Browns travel to Seattle to face the Seahawks, and they are 3.5-point road underdogs.
It's a tough one.
I don't know about this one.
I really don't know. I want to go. I think I'm going to take Seattle just because Browns' offense is fucking terrible.
It is so bad.
But their
And the
defense
Seahawks defense is
and
coming
the
together,
defense,
bro.
Defense Seahawks.
The defense Seahawks.
I do that a lot in my life. I've noticed the Seahawks defense is
Switch
good.
up
Yeah.
the order of
So
words.
the idea is the Seahawks are at home. They have a better.
I'm assuming
defen-
DK plays.
Yeah. They have a way better defense than the Browns do offense.
Yes.
So I'll take Seattle.
I'll take Seattle as well at home. Although I can absolutely see Myles
sure.
Garrett just
having
once
his way.
again having a game. All right, next up, the San Francisco 49ers. This is going to be a fun one. But I don't think Brock Purdy is playing.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, Jalen Ramsey is now active. Like he's going to be playing Sunday.
Oh, shit.
He's activated off IR. He's going to be playing.
Oh, yeah. What do you know? Wow, what timing.
No, that's why I said that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
I was like, I said that because of the alert. Yeah, so I probably would rock with, I'm still sticking with the Patriots in that one. But in this one, the 49ers against the Cincinnati Bengals, the Niners are at home as 5.5-point favorites and no Brock Purdy, most likely. He was in concussion protocol.
Who's it, Darnold?
It is Sam Darnold. Fuck.
God damn.
All right.
Man.
So I had a bold prediction. I had a hot take coming into this season where somehow, some way, Sam Darnold would end up the San Francisco 49ers quarterback.
You did, yeah.
Oh, my God. It's happening. So, like, I have to pick the Niners to win this one.
Do you know how good he has to play?
That's what I'm saying.
He would have to throw for like 500
He has to go for like 350 or 405 tuds for him to even be considered to play another game.
If the Niners didn't lose last week.
I was about to say, if there was ever a timing for it.
Yeah. It's just because I feel like they really want to win this one. I don't know, man.
Oh, Purdy's out of I'm an idiot. Purdy's out of protocol.
Well,
sorry. He's playing. Purdy's out of protocol.
Then Sam Darnold's going to have to do some tenacious things to get in there.
God damn it.
In that case, I'll take the
Well, no, I mean, I'm happy
Niners.
for Brock being healthy.
Of course, yeah.
But, like, I wanted to see Sam play. I'm sad.
I'll take the 49ers.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna take the Niners. I was taking the Niners either way.
Yeah, it's the get back game.
Actually, you know what? Nah, fuck that. Purdy's playing. Cincinnati's taking this one.
Yeah,
Cincinnati makes a big statement this week.
With Darnold, it was San Fran. But
Fuck
with
yes,
Purdy,
it was.
hey,
Fuck
got a
yes,
shot.
it was. Cincinnati takes this one big statement to the league.
Love
All right, this is a trap game, bro. Arizona Cardinals are at home facing the Baltimore Ravens, and the Ravens are 9.5-point road
The
favorites.
Ravens would lose this game.
But I'm still picking the Ravens.
They're not going to. Yeah, I'm going to take the Ravens.
Lamar had a press conference where they asked, "Yo, how do you feel about like trap games?" And they were just like, what do you think? Do you think you guys are going to fall for that? And his response was like fire. Like he was like, "There's no trap games for a team that's ready and prepared." And he's like, "There's no trap games for a team that doesn't underestimate the opponent." And I'm like, you know what, Lamar? I know damn well you guys are fucking underestimating the Cardinals right now.
I was just gonna say, coming from a team that loses a lot of trap games, it feels like
yeah, exactly.
Them and like the Bills always find a way to like lose to shitty teams,
But they turn it around.
Yeah. I think,
Ravens win this
the
one.
Ravens are gonna win.
All right, Kansas City Chiefs 7-point road favorites against the Denver Broncos. Everyone is a road favorite this week.
7 is.
Yeah,
generous.
7-point road favorites against the Broncos. 9.5 for the Ravens before on the road. But yeah, I'm taking the Chiefs once again.
Yeah, I'm gonna pretty comfortably take the Chiefs.
All right, and then the final two games, the Sunday night football game. This is a disgusting Sunday night football game. Ready for this? The Los Angeles Chargers are at home as 8.5-point favorites. Who would the Chargers be 8.5-point favorites against on a Sunday night football game?
Shouldn't be anyone but the Bears.
Bingo.
Because I was just sitting here like, oh, we haven't mentioned the bit. Oh, are they on prime time?
Yes,
That's
sir.
exactly what I was thinking to myself.
Sir. Tyson Bagent is on prime time against the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm taking the Chargers, even though this is such a Chargers loss.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking the Chargers. But on a week where you have everyone playing, you put the Chargers and Bears, and I don't get it.
Yep. And another week that you have everyone playing, and this is the other prime time game. The Detroit Lions are at home against the Oakland Raiders, and they are currently 8-point favorites. I'm taking the Lions.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Lions pretty comfortably.
Well, that's that.
So strange. I don't get the thought process behind the primetime. Don't you want your best team? I mean, I understand everyone's got to get primetime games, right?
Well, yeah, unfortunately. It's unfortunate, but yes.
That, man.
I hate that shit.
I don't watch the good teams.
Every team should not have to be in prime time.
Fucking Raiders, Lions on Red Zone. Fuck it.
Facts. We should have. Wait, let's see. What games are really good this weekend? Like the primetime game this week should be like the Bengals Niners.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah.
But no, I'm gonna have to watch the fucking condensed game of that because I'm gonna be watching Red Zone.
Right.
So, well, it's unfortunate. Wow, Oregon is smacking around Utah right now.
Yeah.
Jesus. Well, anyways, I think that's everything for football. That was everything for basketball. Do you have a TikTok segment
No.
you want to do?
Do you have
Oh,
one?
you didn't do a blind rank?
Oh, no. I thought you were doing one.
Brother, I thought it was the other way.
Shit.
All right, it's fine. It's fine. I'll be ready for it. Here we go. Okay.
We're good at this.
So pick a play. Wait, how do we do it? What's the intro for it?
Which player would you rather have based on their
Okay.
stats?
Which player would you rather have based on their stats? All right, here we go. We're gonna start this off.
Wait, Chokes' comments the whole time were he's playing Purdy out of protocol. You fool. Spoiler alert. It's not happening. There is no timing for it because he's playing, fool.
Yes, we talked about
Yeah,
the
we
Ramsey
mentioned the
return,
Ramsey
Chris.
return,
We
yeah.
mentioned it briefly.
Sully picked the Patriots regardless.
I did pick the Patriots regardless. Okay, so the first player. This is NBA, by the way. So he is averaging
I think I would have caught on to that.
25 points per game, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, no blocks, and he's shooting 48.6% from the field, 50% from 3, and 84.6% from the line on 6.5 attempts per game. Right?
Okay.
Okay, that is player A. I hate that I'm going to do my boy like this. Player B is averaging 24 points per game, 7 rebounds, 5.5 assists, 1.5 steals, and 0.5 blocks. He is shooting 48.7 from the field, 60% from 3, and let's see, where's his free throw percentage? 33.3% from the line on 1.5 attempts per game.
It's pretty good. What are the splits for player A again?
Player A was 48.7, 50, and 84.6 on 6.5 free throw attempts per game.
Gives a fuck about free throws.
That's
Bro,
important.
this could be anyone. Like
You're right.
Could literally be.
You're right. So
Anyone.
are you taking player A or player B?
I'm gonna take player B.
You were supposed to take player A. All right.
Okay.
So player B is Kawhi Leonard. Player A was R.J.
Oh
Barrett.
fuck! Fuck! I sold. Shit.
So yeah, there's that.
I was just like, it's 2 games, so I have to just like think about it. And I was like, I don't give a shit about free throws. I was like, 60% is better than 50 from 3.
They had the same shooting percentage pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
RJ's better.
RJ better. Plus ratio.
Absolutely.
I know you're leaving. I heard you. What the fuck is that?
Try it on right now.
No. No.
Come on.
Wait, that's like,
Bam, bam, bam.
is that what I think it is? I'm
Could it
still not
be?
going out tonight.
No.
Fuck that. That's crazy, though. That's insane that it came right now. When I'm like fully checked out and ready to stay
Come
home all
on.
night. Ain't no fucking way.
BallGame community, bully him.
No. Wow, this timing couldn't have been worse, man.
I'm gonna take player A for the TikTok.
Timing could have been worse.
I'll say it to make it official. I'm gonna take player A.
I love you. Be careful, all right? I feel like I have to like put that on, right?
Yeah,
Before we go off.
for sure.
Do you want to do the SeatGeek promo?
Yeah, what do I say?
Okay, I got it. Never mind.
No,
All right. Anyways, a couple weeks from now, I think it's actually 1 week from
Monday.
this coming Monday.
Yep.
We're going to be at the Jets-Chargers game. And guess who we used to buy those damn tickets? We use SeatGeek, the best ticketing app on the market. By the way, side note, if you guys are going to be at that Monday night football game, we are having a massive tailgate. We're going to be there right around 4 o'clock, 4:30, about 4.5-ish hours before game time. We're going to have a bunch of food. If you guys pull up, just let us know that you're here for the BallGame podcast. That'd be super dope. And yeah, we're going to have a great time. We're going to have some drinks there. We're going to have food, as I said. It's going to be a fun time to watch the Chargers whoop the Jets, which is probably not going to happen. But
No, because the Jets are going to lose this week and be hungry for revenge.
as I was saying, the SeatGeek is the best ticketing app on the market. It grades each deal on a scale of 1 to 10, with green being a good deal and red being a bad deal. If you use code BallGamePod on your first purchase with SeatGeek, again, that's code BallGamePod on your first purchase with SeatGeek, you get $20 off your order. And that's big time. So anyways, thank you guys for partnering up with us over at SeatGeek. We appreciate you guys. So, all right. Before we go off, I have to try all my John Cena stuff.
Oh, you shouldn't have said it.
Oh, shit. It is what it is. So, let me do this. Fuck. Gosh darn it. Tom, you're about to see me shirtless. You excited?
Oh yeah. Hey guys. So I'm gonna have to entertain you guys for a second. Matty J is perfectly blocked by the beam in his basement though, so I literally can't see him. But well, now he came into the light, so there's that.
All right. I can't put on the full thing. We don't have the...
I mean, okay, yeah. That's it's your call, man. I mean, you're not gonna wear it to go out tonight, so you might as well wear it now. So yeah.
Tom, talk to them about...
Tell us about my costume. I will. I'm so glad you asked, Trunks. My costume is Russell from Up, the little fat Boy Scout kid. He's a goat. Like the beam, he said. Yeah, we're gonna have.
Such a phenomenal costume.
It is, right? Yeah. It's gonna be sick. Yeah, I'm gonna go around and walk old people across the street or across their yard, whatever they need. You know. Let's see what else.
Boy Scout.
Yeah. Well, quite literally. I mean, that's the idea of the costume.
Oh, wait, we're going to get copyrighted. I was about to say, I need you to throw on the entrance music.
I was gonna do it for a second, yeah, and then I was like, fucking copywriters. From St. Louis, Missouri.
No, he's not. He's from Boston, Massachusetts.
Is he? Oh, that's Randy Orton. Fuck. It's John Cena. Bim, bim, bim. Bim, bim, bim. That was glorious. Guys, think about it. He bought this just to not go anywhere with it.
Just to not wear it.
He's literally just going to have this in his closet for no reason.
Just to not wear it.
Have no
I'm going to wear it
memories
on Halloween, though.
with this night.
So it is what it is. I'm going to wear it on
It's a
Halloween.
shame. It's a shame.
So,
All right.
it's not a shame. All
a
right,
shame.
Thomas? It's not a shame.
It's a shame.
We are going to have many drinks, much more than some drinks. Did Matty J say who player B was? I did. No, I did say player B before player A because Tom picked player B. That's the only reason I did that, Chris. He goes, where is he? Oh, I see his Tom. Wow, that was hilarious. The most overused
funny.
fucking joke of all time.
So funny.
See, here's the thing. I know if I went to the bar, too, there'd be so many people that just want to be
Who
like,
are you?
"Yo, I can't see you. I
Who are
can't
you?
see
What's
you.
your
Like, what?
costume?
Like, shut the fuck up. It's an
Fucking
overused
nerds.
joke. Like, it's not funny anymore. It was funny like the first like 5 times people said it, and then
5
it's just
years.
like, yeah, enough is enough. All right. Anyways, I think we're all good. I think we're all done. Thank you guys for watching. Please be sure to leave a like. His stream deck is so far. Leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all those good things. Thank you for witnessing me become John Cena. I do appreciate that. If you stuck for the whole stream, you're a real one. And with that,
Get over there. Ball game. Ball game, ball game, ball game, ball game, ball game, ball game, ball game.